Don't you tell me what to do.
Okay.
I don't think I wouldn't like it. My brain decided 20 years ago that I didn't like EverQuest. So.
Like I was given the keys to the EverQuest Kingdom. Like someone I know someone that worked on EverQuest, and he was basically like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you in this game." Like, sent me like the game and like every fucking expansion, and like gifted me like, a shitload of like in-game currency to get started or what. Somehow we was basically like, click, all right, there you go. You have like enough starter gold. You won't have to worry about it for a while. And I was still just like, no, this fucking sucks. Like even with all this, I'm sorry, bro. Like this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't.
Well, it's been 20 years, so maybe it's different.
Sure.
But yeah, I
Sure, it's only gotten better.
yeah. Dragon Realm sent me an email, and they're like, "Hey, you want like 3 months of premium for like $9?" And I was like, "You bet your ass I do. Let's get it." That game is still the same, which is to say, it's very good at what it does. But also it's very heavily reliant on scripting. Like you almost can't play without macros anymore. Either macros or just whole ass write your own fucking enormous script to handle everything you do.
It's I don't know. I don't
Which
know.
is exhausting. Like
I was going to say, like, this could almost be content since we're not talking about anything particular. Because I almost kind of want to have a little mini video game section because we haven't talked about.
Yeah,
games.
I was thinking
Okay.
that this would just end up. That's why I kept talking, is because I assumed this would end up just getting wrapped into the.
Sorry.
No, you're cool.
I mean, I think we're on the line now as well, also, so we should probably check that.
Are we on the line?
So I didn't know
I
if we
don't
wanted
know
to do
if
like a
I've
proper
received-
start.
yeah,
and
hey.
all that.
I can't type the whole anything anymore. My
I don't know
autocorrect
at
is
what point
ruining
we
me.
popped online because I wasn't paying attention.
Cool, we're online.
I
Look.
seem to be seeing it 111 seconds ago. Hello, Robert.
Hello, Bob. Big Bob.
I learned BJ's middle name tonight. And I'm not going to tell anybody.
You said it was Jartholomew, but that's not it.
What?
You also did not
I can't
learn.
believe you lied to me.
I'll give you a hint. The J doesn't stand for what you think it might.
Yeah, because it stands for junior. Because most something J's are is usually a junior.
No. I refuse to believe that.
All right.
Okay.
Not
I
every
will-
person I've ever met that was a T or a P or a B or whatever J's follow those, but I mean, like, has been a junior, but most of them have been.
Most of the ones that I've met have not been. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I've done a lot of TJs, BJs, and PJs.
Like my friend who got me into Dragon Realms, AJ. It was not.
Not a junior?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was first and middle.
All right.
What was his middle initial or his middle name? His middle initial was J, obviously, but
Yeah.
It was Jartholomew.
Jartholomew.
Yeah, it was Andrew. Andrew.
Jan-
I believe it was. I believe it was Andrew James, but
Wow.
yeah.
Way to swing for the fences there, AJ's parents. Jesus.
Yeah.
Andrew James.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like, hey,
Yeah.
only
My name is anonymous.
yeah. Was Mike already taken? I mean, Jesus Christ.
the both of you have no fucking room to talk.
I know. Yeah.
With your
commonality of names.
boring
is-
ass names.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, mine became popular,
Hmm.
right? Like around
Around the time you were born. Yes.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of
I
those
mean,
that picked up steam.
The great thing about both of your names is they're both like, fun verbs.
You're right.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So astute watchers will notice that I'm here.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Mr. Mackey is here today.
Yeah. I lost a lot of money and my house didn't sell. Fuck. So, life is meaningless. If you live somewhere, never move unless you have to. Just stay where you are.
Stand in the place where you are.
Life's better that way. Yeah, you should see the house now. There ain't shit in it. Like you saw how empty it was the other day, BJ, when you came to help me put a tail light on.
Mm-hmm.
It is like there's nothing in the house because it has to be ready to show at any given moment. So the
Right.
dogs have to go to doggy daycare all day. which we have to drive down to fucking Bartram to do that.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
That's fucking bullshit.
That was a fun commute this morning, let me tell you. But, yeah. So, yeah. If you think you're doing well and things are going right, stop thinking that because something will happen.
But if you try your best and you don't succeed,
Give up.
No, don't even try.
Yeah.
That's the lesson.
I don't
Never
know.
try.
I mean, yeah. Yes. Don't weep for what you've lost. Weep for what you have.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I live my life. One of the
Yeah.
two ways I live my life. One is a quarter mile at the time.
I can-
The other is
I was gonna say I live my life a quarter cry at a time.
nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how long I'm around this time. I would like to sell my house again.
I hope you do very soon.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And I hope-
and I hope these people stick with it this time.
Right.
They're like, hey, you know what? We should actually buy that house.
Yeah. Houses are house-like.
I'm a big fan of houses, especially the money that can be made selling one, or used to be able to be made.
Oh, don't worry.
Apparently
You'll
not
be all right.
anymore. And 1 month changes everything.
You just got ripped on this one. You'll be okay. So actually, Bob, the real secret to BJ is that it stands for Bartles and James because I am absolutely fucking ripped on wine coolers all the time.
It's true.
You ain't wrong.
The back of my car sounds like a shitload of empty wine cooler bottles.
His back of his car sounds like a side character on Hogan's Heroes. Clink.
Clink, clink.
Yeah. There it is. Man,
Yeah.
sometimes you crack one right over my head,
I
and
know. It's-
I got it.
yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I get it. Oh, look at those sleeved cards. They fit perfectly.
sleeves. So Mackie, for those of you who can't see this, Mackie is sleeving some board game cards because he got yet another giant Kickstarter package.
Yep.
This is the 35th one this year, I think.
Yes.
He's like, whoa, yeah.
Approximately
Kickstart
the
my
35th.
heart.
Yeah.
What one is this one? This is Mythical...
Mythic Mischief.
Mythic
Ooh.
Mischief.
It's actually on GameFound, not Kickstarter.
Oh, whatever.
A competitor that has arisen. But
So now you've
Kickstarter
branched
has
out and
appeared.
you're buying... There wasn't enough game in cardboard boxes coming to your house, so you had to probably invent yourself another website so that you could buy more.
and the
More
backer
games.
kit also is getting into it now.
Oh.
Usually they were just pledge management, but now they're offering their own.
That's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, they put the Return to Dark Tower went there. The one with the cool tower in the middle. They remade like the early 80s one that had the tower that would spit out skulls and shit.
I don't think I ever played that or saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Jen, her parents actually had it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Nice.
you tell them to find that thing because it's worth like $1,000 right
Holy
now.
shit.
Yeah. First, you could spend like $400 on the new one if you really wanted to get all the shit for it.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm the stupid person that both has an original Hero Quest and bought the new.
You are
thing.
not alone. There's a lot of people who are like
I mean, I can go
proud of having
pull
both
out
of
the
them.
original box and also go pull out all the new ones. So.
Tobias has both.
Yeah.
They're both good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same fucking game, but
Yeah. Yeah, they really didn't change that much for the Hero
Well,
Quest.
No, not
It was
really.
But
surprising how
There's
true
so many
to it they
add-ons
kept it.
already. Oh my god, there's already
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's already like 8 add-ons that didn't come with the mega Kickstarter.
And
thing.
is that straight through? Like, is it Hasbro?
Hasbro.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to be in store. I think I did see it in like a Target the other day.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's Hasbro. They kind of have the distribution to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
they are the only toy company. All things will be Hasbro one day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that game I discussed loving, Spirit Island. They're actually putting out a Target version that's like way simplified, and the rules are very simplified, so you can actually teach people how to play it and not have to spend like an afternoon on it. So I'm looking forward to that.
that's the only problem with board games is like I love board games, but I never want to spend 2.5 hours learning how to play and then finish the game up in the next 45 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, we've played that game. Let's never touch it again.
Yeah, I I still feel like we had to have been playing Mission Catastrophe wrong.
Because I won?
Well, because you won so quickly.
Yeah, it's because
Like
I'm
that-
fucking good.
Yeah, but that second game was just like, wait, it's over already? And
Yeah.
it felt like there was no true interaction between any of us. And I feel like there must have been something we were doing wrong in that none of us ever felt the need to like even try to sabotage the others.
One, y'all knew not to fuck with me. Two, I'm amazing at games. Three, booyah.
I mean, I can't argue it, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it
You
is
are
a
right.
bummer.
That one did go kind of fast.
Yeah, but it is a bummer like when you spend all that time and then you don't like the game. You know, and
Yes,
sometimes
exactly
it's like
that,
it just
yeah.
takes one person not enjoying it to kind of sour it for everybody else,
Mhm.
which can be a bummer also.
One of the hard things for me with playing games is there are so many social deduction games out there that people really, really love, and I really do not like playing any of them.
Yeah.
I like watching other people play them.
Yeah, apparently Blood on the Clock Tower came out recently, and that one's supposed to be really good because it has very specific roles that are
Yeah.
assigned. But the problem is you have an actual like game master that
Right,
assigns everyone the role. So you have to have somebody who's kind of involved but kind of not, but is almost like a dungeon master in that they're steering who gets which role, who's doing what.
When you say social, I mean, are you talking about like the Spot the Liar type game?
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Resistance,
Yeah,
like
Avalon,
Ultimate
okay,
Werewolf.
okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Blood on the Clock Tower is similar, but I mean, you can have up to like 20 people playing it.
Yeah. So one of the super cool things about that I haven't actually seen the board game version of it, like the in person, but I guess there's, I don't know if it's Tabletop Simulator or what platform it's running on, but there's a version that you can play online, and this guy that I watch stream plays Blood on the Clock Tower with a pretty regular group. Watching that is fucking fascinating, and I love it. I don't want to play it, but I really like having a semi bird's eye view. Like, my sister and her family like playing Secret Hitler, and I love just sitting behind my sister. I won't play. I'll just sit behind her and watch what happens.
See, I love playing those games because I think secretly I'm a sociopath.
Oh,
Or maybe not secretly. I don't know. Audience
Yeah.
can tell me or not, but I mean, like, I can bold-faced lie really well. So those games are
so loud.
fun for me. Because
Yeah.
like when I want to lie, I can. I like to be a smiley person, but like when I want to go into those games, I can poker face the shit out of it, or just smile and like fuck with you in other ways.
Mhm.
Like, I think I'm a sociopath. So like I love lying games.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the problem is you can't play them too often with the same group unless there's a way to like assign roles, which I think is what a lot of what Blood on the Clock Tower was designed for, because you have like people, if it's strictly all right, you're a Cylon or you're not, it's like you learn how the people play a thing a lot of the time.
Right.
See, I don't know. I played so much Resistance with the same group, and like that was part of the fun, was like coming up with the new poker strategy, essentially, like the new way I'm gonna bluff people or not bluff
Right.
people. So I mean, like that, yeah. And then
Learning people's tells.
well, that and like then people like fucking with you, and it's just being like, oh, cool, you knew your own tell, and I mean, it's like that was like fascinating to me because I think that's, I mean, like I like playing poker, but like that it's the lying aspect that I like. That it's not the like the chance.
It's the lying aspect I like. Harlow 37,
Yeah.
2022.
I mean, that's
Remember
why
this.
I like playing, Texas Hold'em. It's not, or whatever. It's, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like it's fun to win money and stuff, but yeah, it's like I'm all about the bluffing and lying and plus math. Like knowing percentages
Right.
and stuff. It's like that's all my wheelhouse.
Hey, more spam already.
But I don't like.
Yeah.
But I don't like to play.
I caught
like,
it on the second message because
I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh, that's exactly an 8.2% chance you're going to catch this card on the river. I'm not one of those people, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
Right.
and look, I know how many fours there are. It's like I've seen one, that leaves. Like it's like I can do basic stuff like that. It's like the chances of that have just gone down to nothing. So fuck this.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I would love to play Blood on the Clock Tower, but it would have to be like with our group, because it's like super. It's almost like playing D&D.
Yeah.
because I mean it is very role playing oriented, and it's like, you know, if you just got your friends who are like, oh, what are you guys doing? You know, it's not like you can
right,
be like,
right.
hey, you're a villager. You know,
It's
if
also
you have to
very
assign them a
complicated,
role,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like the board actually opens up, and it's like a tome that you put on like a pedestal. That is like the
That's
game
cool.
master's thing, and then I guess you can reference that if you need to for whatever. But
that's very cool. Yeah. The guy that I was watching play it, like, they have a regular group, and they usually have like 8 people plus the game master, and the game master is like they're in a group that's like 1 or 2 guys handle the game mastering, storytelling sort of stuff, and
I think that's the name of it.
Like-
Is the storyteller is
Yeah.
the actual role that it's
Yeah.
called.
And the cool thing is they're all super nerds about the game. So they all know,
Yeah.
like, okay, well, there's a this, so there can't be a that, so there can't be another. So, you know, if this has happened, then this and this and this and this. And that one actually seems more fun to me because it's like, it's got that element that's not just like
Are you just
lying.
in it?
Are you
right?
lying or not?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever done One Night Ultimate Werewolf?
Yes.
I mean, because that's got the role things and stuff. I mean, I'm just saying that mixes up a bit more than just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but this is almost like each one has like, I don't want to say a specific power.
No,
But there's-
that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like Avalon, the original Avalon with expansions, like, because then you have like other knights who do like, oh, I can know this but not know this. And, you know, like,
Yeah, and it seems really cool, like, and the production on it's fucking crazy on that book and all the stuff in it. But it seems like you would need to have a group that's all on board with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can have people wander in, and I guess you can just assign them as you're just a villager, which it's kind of like they're almost like NPCs, which is kind of like, okay, I guess if you're gonna learn it, here's how you would learn it.
Right.
But yeah, that only just shipped. Apparently, it's been like the
Yeah, it's
Kickstarter.
been.
Yeah, the Kickstarter ended, I want to say, before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Holy
so
shit.
it's one of those that's just been, I don't know what the hell happened with it, but
Delayed and delayed and delayed.
yeah. I mean, there's ones, there's ones I've been waiting year and a half on, and they're like, yeah, we're not sure when it's going to be ready. Logistics issues. And it's like, motherfucker, there's ones like Mythic Mischief, I pledged like last September, I want to say. And it's like, here it is. Like, it's sitting here next to me. And these people, it was like, yeah, I did it like in 2020. And they're like, yeah, it's not quite ready yet.
Okay, so there's it's clocktower.online is the unofficial virtual town square and grimoire for Blood on the Clock Tower.
Okay.
And that runs you can run all the stuff through.
Oh, I'm in another Discord server where they actually run games through Discord.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to join them for it, but I just don't know when that would be.
Yeah.
Because, it's like a 3-hour commitment usually. And it's like,
Well, that's
I
the
don't
way
know.
that's the way they run the Blood on the Clock Tower games.
yeah.
But also, RPGs, TTRPGs are totally playable through Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's also what is it called? Tabletop Simulator. But that's so difficult to like.
Yeah. And
Somebody has to make the module, and then you have to physically set it up with your fucking mouse.
I know a lot of
And-
people who play on Board Game Arena, which is a little better about that. It's not as fiddly as TTS, but I can't get into it. I think it's something about like if I've got a game like that, I want the physical thing. I don't necessarily want to be pushing it around on a screen.
Yeah, fair.
If I had a VR headset, it might make a little bit of a difference, but it's still like, you're still not directly manipulating the stuff.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, at some point we should probably pivot into saying we're doing the actual show, maybe.
Yeah.
And do this.
We've done a few that started like this
Well,
before.
I know,
yeah.
but I mean, this is actually makes me think of something I was going to bring up in video game talk.
Yeah.
Because it's similar to tabletop talk.
Yeah.
In the mechanic of like real life versus simulation and blah blah blah.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay.
Do
so
it.
Fine. We're officially doing Variety Hour number 45.
Variety.
Consider that
I don't even remember what was. How did we start?
Consider that the No Time to Die cold open
Yeah.
of Variety Hour.
Yes,
It's
here
like
we are,
30,
half an hour
30
in.
minutes later, and but similar to that, I picked up because it was super on sale recently. I've been thinking about it for years based on my occupation when I'm not podcasting. I picked up PC Building Simulator just because
I've heard about this one, but I've never
were you
even seen any footage.
railing to us about like
I was about
this simulator life.
Yeah, and
I just wanted to make sure that I
no
remembered that
exactly,
correctly.
and that's germane to what I was about to say because what I was just
Jermaine
saying.
Dupree.
Yes. This modern day notion of like PC simulator games that are just jobs people have is really bizarre to me. Like, I mean, I know Flight Simulator has been around for years, but like,
Right.
that's an expensive, very hard to obtain occupation or hobby. Whereas like a lot of these other things, it's like, if you want to be a farmer, you can. I mean, like
That's also an expensive hobby.
well, I mean, but you could just like you could take 6 months off and like go work on someone's farm, and then you'd be like, well, that's not really fun. Like that's hard work and stuff. So why was that? I don't know. There was Lake was another game that popped up recently on Game Pass, and it looked like an artsy fartsy thing, and I was like. It was like, the setup is you're going to visit, your uncle's lakeside cabin in 1981 and do what you want. And I get in and it was immediately like, also now all of a sudden you're running your uncle's post office. So drive this mail truck around and deliver mail. And I was like, fuck you. Like I didn't sign up for Post Office Simulator. Like, I mean, maybe you have more to your game later, but I just don't understand what this obsession with like, I can't believe people do this job. And it's like, yeah, people do like, and I don't know. It just feels like there's like this weird disconnect between video game makers and their frappuccinos into like, oh my God, I can't believe farmers actually put on gloves and get in tractors. Isn't that weird? And it's just like,
I don't think it's so much that. I think it's more like playing with toys simulator.
sure,
Right?
maybe,
Like it's not quite Lego. It's a little bit more interactive in some ways, and I think it's just like, oh, this job has something that's satisfying or interesting about it, so we're going to make that our core gameplay, like Power Wash Simulator.
Sure. And like
I was about to say, I downloaded that one. I haven't played it yet.
You
though.
guys were saying that was super zen. I did download it because it was on Game Pass, and I was like, I haven't tried it yet either. But I get that if it's just like okay, this satisfies my OCD or my zen like need for doing something of putting everything in place, or even Farming Simulator. Like, look, I get it. That's what makes the jukebox play. If someone wants to live the farming life, but they live in Manhattan, more power to you. Like, have at it. But I'm just saying, like, I think of what's annoying me is when it creeps into like standard gameplay now. When it's just like, I thought I was signing up for this game, and you're like, oh my God, look at this tedious task we're gonna make you do, and it's like, okay, that was kind of funny in Paperboy in the 1980s, but it's like, like that was also still like an incredibly hard ass arcade game, just in the guise of doing a menial job.
Is it? And I've never played Animal Crossing,
right?
But isn't Animal Crossing basically like all those little things, the game, like hobbies and maintenance, the game?
Yeah.
Animal Crossing is
weird
dolls, and like
dress up,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to be reductive about dolls and stuff, but that's what it is. It's like it's play sets. That's what Animal Crossing is. It's a bunch of little play sets with some vague, rules and consequences and some money here and there.
Right.
But
and
that's
go fishing periodically or plant some things.
Yeah. But it feels like that's the simplified version of these types of things, where it's like repetitive menial task,
right? And
do
like,
it every day.
A lot of people love this. I mean, like Stardew Valley is hugely popular, and that's a very menial tasks type.
Well, that's 8-bit farming simulator.
So I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's great. It's strange to me that it just keeps creeping into weird games. But having said all that, when I was having this discussion / whatever, talking about fuck you, Lake, and making me do Post Office Simulator or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like,
sort mail.
And I had also just tried Farming Simulator. A couple of these simulator things that popped up on Game Pass. I was like, we've made jokes for years. I should actually fire up a lawn mowing simulator, farm simulator, fire up a couple of these because it doesn't cost me anything. so PC Building Simulator, super familiar with what it is. But yeah, like immediately it was just like, I mean, I guess I kind of appreciate that like certain things are simplified. Like, you know, you just hit a button and you're suddenly into like cable management. Like, okay, and I can clearly see there's.
Is it just like a mini game?
It's
for
basically
cable
it's
management?
basically just like, oh, there's an orange glowy thing connected to the other green glowy thing, and now you've connected your video card to the power supply and all that kind of stuff.
Wish it was easy.
Yeah, that it's
Mhm.
and then there's like stupid in-game upgrades. That the only one I played far enough to upgrade was as soon as you go to power up a PC, because it's almost every PC you're working on, the very final thing is to power up and make sure it can boot to the operating system, of course.
Yeah.
But like that means, I've had the PC open, I'm working on everything, taking things apart, which then means you have to plug the power and the mouse and the keyboard and the monitor. So
Yeah.
I got something that just, when you hit power, all those things just go into the back of the computer. And it was like, that alone was like, all right, thank you for that.
Must be fucking nice.
Simplification thing,
Mhm.
But then the main thing about it is like at the end of the day, it's like, it is just a business management sim. Like you are just trying to make money having a computer shop. It's like at the end of the day, it's like, building a PC is not that difficult, and there's not that many variations of it, so there really can't be that much of a mini game. It's not even like Cook Serve Delicious or something where it's like, oh look, now you're making a different kind of pizza and you've got to throw this ingredient in or something. It's like this is just like, well, this one's got water cooling, so here's 2 extra things you got to hook up, or this one's got this, or you have to read the email and say like, oh, this guy secretly was saying, hey, while you're doing this, can you throw in white cabling in my system to make it look cooler or something? And that doesn't cost anything, so it's just but yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like, well, do this, make the maximum amount of profit, make sure you don't order used, do this, like come back the next day, and it's like, ugh, never mind, fuck this. Like, it's just, I don't know. I guess I just don't get that, like, where we stand in a society where it's like, I don't know, that people have time, or that's considered enjoyable. To
And that loop
things.
just didn't catch you.
No, sure, and
You know.
yeah. I'm sure that other people might be like, that's perfect, or how can you play Hades for 1,500 hours or whatever, like similar to me. But yeah, that was just a strange thing, and I was like, no. But at least I have now tried the thing that is closest to like, I can do this. Like, like I actually thought about getting Auto Mechanic Simulator just because I'm honestly completely inept at understanding how cars work. Like I've got the basics of like fuel injection and that kind of stuff, but like, you get down to the nitty gritty and parts, I'm lost. And I was like, I actually thought about getting, because like, maybe this would just teach me the basics.
Something.
Yeah, like
5 things: suck, squeeze, bang, blow, fast. That's all you need to know about cars.
Is that cars or sex?
Yep.
Okay.
Especially number 5.
Right. Fast.
Yes.
Okay. I was trying to remember which one was 5. All right.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's it. That's all I really want to say. It's just, it's a strange world that we live in, that there's all these little simulator games and stuff. I guess it's just kind of strange.
Yeah. I have not played any of them, and I don't entirely get it.
Have I told you guys about my light obsession with Leaf Blower Revolution?
No, I've never even heard of Leaf Blower Revolution.
It's free. It's a free to play game.
Okay.
Don't play it though.
Okay.
Just fucking don't play it. It's half idle game and half vaguely leaf blower simulator. So it's like a clicker in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thing has its hooks in me.
Just that kind of thing.
It's always running on my
You can't
computer.
seem to leave it alone.
I cannot. I cannot.
I'll just make like a tree.
Yeah,
and get out of here.
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. And there's a little indicator that shows up that I've got a new thing that I can buy, and I haven't spent any real world money on it because it's free to play. It has currency, but it's not real like skeezy about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, it's always running, and I check it like every 20 minutes, and I do a couple little things, and then I do go off and do 20 minutes of not staring at Leaf Simulator or Leaf Blower Revolution.
I thankfully don't have anything on my phone right now that makes me check it.
I'm glad
saying,
it's
like it's.
I'm glad it's not on my phone.
Oh, this isn't a phone. This is a
It's
PC thing.
it's a personal computer game. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh wow.
And since I use my TV or my computer as my entertainment device, it's always up.
Yep.
Always fucking running.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the morning and I go sit down and check
And
it.
you start clicking.
I start clicking, and it's so fucking bad for me. But also, I mean, it's free. But also because it's an idle game, and I just leave it running like overnight, or like it's running right now, doing whatever in the background. Not on this computer, but on mine at home. I have like 2,000 something hours on it because it just runs all the time, and I never turn it off. There was a point, like, it rewards you for going away, for turning it off. It gives you, leaves and stuff. But I'm at the point where it's actually less profitable to turn it off than it is to leave it running. So yeah, I just leave it running all the time, which is a bad idea, a very bad idea. I need someone to come over to my house and delete that from my computer, and
I'll just do it from here.
Oh, thank you.
Hack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel weird in that I'm just haven't been playing anything.
That's all I've been playing.
Yeah, because like my PS5 is packed up, my Xbox packed up, even the Switch got they were in the box that was supposed to go out of town with me, and just never
came back out.
Well, yeah, it's somewhere in the garage. It got buried when we suddenly had to put the house back on the market and have showings.
If you put the PS5 out, it'll be like a status symbol, like, oh my god,
This person has a PS5.
this person has a PS5.
Yeah.
This house must be fucking cool as shit.
Or just say,
or this person doesn't need my money.
Or just say this PS5 comes with the house, and that might actually sell your fucking house.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because you can always get another PS5. I'll give you mine. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you don't need one.
And mine's full black, so there you go.
Yeah, I somehow I'm still playing Wordle. I think because it's like the only thing my parents and I talk about. Because I don't want to talk about the house with them, and so they're like, "Hey, got it in 4 today." I'm like, "Yep." Like my mom and dad both have a competition between each other to
That's
see who
kinda
gets
cute.
it quicker, and then they ask me what I'm like. It was 6 again. Don't bug me. Leave me alone. And my dad, he like
introduce them to Quordle.
no.
They can't handle it.
I've tried the other ones. I don't like them. The only thing I do like is an app called Knot Words, KNOT Words. It's by, I believe, one of the guys who made Threes. I think that was Zach Gage. But it is basically a daily crossword puzzle that you don't have the hints. You just get some of the letters that are in some of the boxes. And so you're basically figuring out the crossword puzzle from there. And there's a daily mini one, and then there's a daily big one, which by Sunday is like fucking huge and very difficult. But like keeping the streak going and all those, that's the only thing I bother with during the week.
Gotcha.
Is that game and Wordle. And
well, when Wordle hit, I resisted it for a while, but my work bestie was like, "Hey, does anybody else play Wordle?" I was like, "No, I'm trying to stay away from it." And she's
I don't like the dots on Twitter.
Yeah.
Get the squares out of here.
Yeah. Well, that was fucking annoying that it showed
It
up out
was.
of nowhere and nobody said a goddamn word about it.
Yeah.
They just posted their fucking Wordle thing.
And it didn't excuse me, it didn't even have a link, did it?
No, it didn't have a link.
Yeah.
No, it was just there. It was just, and I'm like,
Sorry.
what the fuck is this and why does it matter? Anyway, I got over that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my work bestie was like, anybody play Wordle? And I was like, no, I'm trying to stay away from it. And she's like, you should play it. You'll love it. And then, like, a minute later, we ended up...
Fucking?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
No, we ended up basically starting a 6-month streak where we exchanged Wordle scores and talked about the words every day. But we ended up playing Quordle also, which is the one where it's 4 at the same time. And that, it's really fun to play. Like if you like Wordle, it's really good. But also sometimes the word selections are kind of fucky.
Yeah. My dad hates
double
double
letters.
letters.
Yep.
Oh my god, that is like, I've I've never heard him.
Why all
I've never heard him so irrationally angry as anything about them putting double letters in it.
Yeah. It's real rough on Quirtle when they do double letters and you're
Yeah.
not thinking that direction.
Yeah, like I'm still waiting for like the week that the day that they do papal or something, and he'll just be like, double letters. I hate this thing.
Yeah.
I quit forever.
Do you have like a first three, like your first word and then your second word if you don't get enough, and then I had an opening three that I basically just
I
was
had
like,
an opening two, but I switched up my first word, and now it's all fucked. Like I always get one. I'm like, I don't even know what my second word is now, because I used to use about, and now I use raise. And
RAISE.
yeah, because I had so many, both of them because they have so many vowels. But now because I switched to raise, like I'll get I, and I'm like,
Fuck.
I don't know what my second word is, so I need to figure that part out. But
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Wordle. Who cares?
I have no
I mean,
idea what
really,
it is. So
it's just
great.
It's a word puzzle game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy as shit. Yeah.
It's
but
pretty good. It's honestly a really good little game. It's fucking clever and very simple.
yeah, it's basically you're guessing a word that's only 5 letters,
Okay.
and all it'll tell you is if you have any, like a letter is correct. If it's in the right space, it'll be green. If it's in the word but in the wrong space, it'll give you a yellow, and that's it. And you got 6 guesses. And
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can actually find the Wordle archives, but before, and the reason that it was like a zeitgeist thing is one every day, and that's all you get.
mm-hmm.
And so you just do your one and post your scores on Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
So does everybody get a different word?
No,
everybody
everyone
gets
has
the same word.
Same. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So does somebody just go out in the beginning of the day and just post what it is, and everybody gets it right?
Yeah, there was somebody on Twitter that was doing that for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, there are people that do that.
They'd
But
like reply to any post that was popular and just be like, "Today's word is viral," and it'd be like, "Oh, thanks."
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just was curious.
well, it'll give you a thing like a thing to post. If you want, you can to post your score. You copy and paste, but it doesn't show any of the letters. It just shows you like white, green, and yellow blocks, which stand in for your letters
Mhm.
and how many tries it took you.
Yeah.
So like all of it is super clever, and the guy that developed it for his wife. It was a very like sweet thing, and now the New York Times owns it. So
Well, he got $1 million out of it, so
that's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
good for him. But
I'd do it. And he sold at the right time.
he did. He sold
You
it
know?
immediately.
Yeah. Like I remember when Draw Something sold, and then it was like everyone gave up. Everyone's like, "Nah, this takes too long. I'm not doing this anymore."
Mhm.
So somebody paid millions and millions of dollars for Draw Something, and it's like nobody uses Draw Something anymore.
It was like the second after they sold it.
Yeah.
Everybody
I mean,
deleted.
that one was amazing in how fast it just like dropped off a cliff.
I found on my old archives the screen grabs I'd done,
Yeah.
Nice.
I did
and-
too.
and I was just like, that was fun. That was a fun, stupid time where I spent entirely too long on.
I spent a lot of time
I s-
on my work day. I actually started writing people being like, I'm not touching yours. I can only do like 5 a day, so it's going to have to wait.
Yeah.
Well,
I bought a
just-
stylus just so that I could,
Same
Yeah.
here.
because I'm just fucking fat fingered when it comes to drawing
Mhm.
anyway. But
Yeah, I mean, mine did, my drawings still look like a 9-year-old did them, but that's my art style. Period. But
Right.
I still spent way too much time, and I could tell when and where I spent too much time on certain
Yeah.
pictures.
Well, and that
was
the
it on
thing, too.
dongs? Was it?
I mean, maybe
It's the
yeah.
raging dongers.
Yeah, I didn't
But-
find too many dogs on the.
Yours were always really good. I mean, you
Artistically
have
inclined,
artistic
yes.
skills.
I enjoyed taking the time to them, but then I'd see like the person would it would be like literally like the first 2 seconds of what I did, and then the person would guess it, and then it was like burp, 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 and it would go away. And I'm like, you didn't even get to look at my beautiful drawing.
Mhm.
I mean, I was never a fan
Chucks
of
were
that.
really good too. They weren't like super artsy, but Chucks were good.
Chucks were clever.
Yes. Chuck's
like-
a clever boy. I like Chuck.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Chuck's all right. So should we
And
talk
Chuck,
about some?
and Chuck is all right, just for those that are concerned.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Chuck is in recovery.
Yeah.
He had to get his head removed from his butt.
Doctor said
He's not editing this. He'll never hear it.
He'll hear it in a few weeks.
Yeah, he's just watching Better Call Saul and being like, oh, God, what have I done?
That's a good idea because he can't laugh right now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You're not going to laugh watching that show.
When does that end? When does Better Call Saul end?
Next week, I believe.
Good. How long does it take for episodes to... no, I'm sorry. That came out the wrong way.
It kind of did sound a bit like you're like, oh, fuck that thing.
No, like...
I'm glad it's over. It's like Wordle. Go away.
No, I'm glad it's over because that means I can watch it.
Yeah.
I am really trying to limit my series to ones that have ended. And I'm stuck in a couple right now that are narrative.
Did they officially say that, I mean, did you watch Killing Eve?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what that is.
I think you would like Killing Eve. I think this season was the last season, so you might want to check. That might be over, and I think you would like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Better Call Saul, like, how long does it take for the episodes to get to Netflix? 2 weeks?
AMC's been really shitty about it because I think like they still are for some reason trying to push their own streaming thing because it was like it didn't show up on Netflix until like a week before the new season. Like the previous season didn't show up until like a week before the new season hit. And it's like, fuck you.
That's actually a good time for it to show up, though.
Yes and no. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. Like it always felt like it was a year behind.
Okay.
You know, it just took forever. So I don't know what they'll do now that it's complete. If they'll just kind of put it out within 6 months and be like, all right, here it is. But then again, Netflix, who knows what? Because I think that's where it was streaming. I don't know if it bounces
Yeah, it's streaming
around
on Netflix. I could swear I saw it elsewhere, like Hulu or something, but
I don't know anymore.
If Hulu has it, it's probably more up to the minute, up to date or something.
Yeah, Hulu's like all the FX stuff is next day, which is really nice.
But yeah, that's one I've just been waiting for it to finish. I didn't want to start it just in case something happened and it didn't finish. I don't know why I got paranoid about that happening to shows, but like if you don't have if it's a long form narrative show that doesn't have like a single season arc, then I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not I don't care. It's just I'm not going to watch it until you're done with it. I don't want to pick up a series and then Netflix cancels it or whatever.
Yeah, I got messed up with it because like I got through half of season 4, and then it was like, and this was back when I was working at the sign place, which is like the worst thing on earth ever to have to go through. And I was just like, this show is so relentlessly grim. And just like, well, because I mean, it's like whenever the guy does the right thing, the world immediately kicks him in the dick.
That's how the world works.
Yes, but it was just like excessive almost.
Are we still talking about Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the first season and a half, and I was just like, I had to take a break. Like, I just was like,
yeah, and that's what it was. Is Jen kept wanting to watch it, and I'm like, I can't do this right now. Like, I'm already in kind of a pretty hard depression, hate my life thing, and this isn't anything that helps.
Right. Yeah.
Watching this. So we need to just like, and she's pissed at me because we never went back, and now this is the 6th season. So it's like, yeah, we still would have 2.5 seasons to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll catch up eventually, but I can't go through that stuff. And yeah, and like right now I'm like, yeah, that'd be a bad time to be watching it would be right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I don't want to
I'm not going to jump on it right now or anything.
No.
If we're talking about things that we've watched recently that we're like, why? And also, no, I should not have done that. He's just a boy.
Yeah.
I think I've watched everything he's done except I never did get through the what was the weird movie with Hugh Jackman? I'm talking about Darren Aronofsky. What was his?
Noah. Or not Noah.
Actually, no, I never watched Noah either.
The Fountain.
The Fountain, yeah, okay. So I have 2 Aronofsky movies, I guess. I'm sure Noah probably isn't going to have anything that fucks with me severely. Well, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I decided to watch Mother with an exclamation point.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he did that one.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I hear that movie is divisive. People are like, this is masterpiece, or this is complete shit.
I don't even know if I would judge it. Like, I mean, other than like, I think the thing is, like, I didn't give it a star rating on Letterboxd. I was just like, God damn, I'm glad I'm not in that fucker's head. I am so happy like I'm not in Darren Aronofsky's head. Like that must be such a miserable place to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a really fucked up movie. Like I mean, I don't think I even knew that. Like I had really no expectation going in. I was just like, it's Aronofsky, so I was expecting weird because that's to kind of be expected. But yeah, no, this goes like Mandy level weirdness, grossness, and darker than that. Polanski levels. I don't know. Like I mean, well, both in terms of film and human. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a fucked up movie. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
So would you recommend it?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it depends on your level of like, I like to witness fucked up shit. I mean, it's really bizarre just because it is such a strange movie, and yet the cast is like oddly large. I mean, I knew, obviously Jennifer Lawrence is in it. She's on the cover, but
Jennifer Lawrence isn't very large. She's kind of petite.
She's kind of petite, yeah. But like I didn't know like Javier Bardem is her husband. Like Ed Harris is in it. Michelle Pfeiffer's in it. Dom Hall Gleason's in it. Mr. Ginger Ricky Hitler from other things. I mean, we've referred to him as that from Star Wars, but God, fuck. There's it's not the guy. I'm not going to butcher his name. David Aiello. Is that how you say his name? The guy who played Martin Luther King in Selma. Is that Aiello? Is that? It's not him, but it's the guy. It's like
Yellow.
Yeah. Hello.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a Yellow.
Okay. It's not him. It's a guy. It's a guy that I always confuse for him. It's like
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
No, I mean like dude that like seriously like they could be brothers. Like it's not a like similar thing. It's like it is like they're both British and like and it's just like I can't remember, but it's like it's another dude and I'm like that's him, but or maybe it is him and I just didn't look at the cast. But I'm just saying there's a weird number of people in that movie where it's like for a movie that I thought was like had nobody in it. So
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's a fucked up thing. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's saying it fucked with me.
If you're on a weird ride.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, so I'll keep talking positive movies because I'll bring it back around if we're going to talk movies in general. Yeah. Since we haven't really done a variety, we haven't talked about like modern-ish movies in a while.
Yeah.
Not that there's been.
Yeah, and let's save the Marvel stuff till the end.
Okay.
Because there's a whole batch of it.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm gonna have to la my way through Thor talk.
Thor.
I don't know if we'll say a ton that would be considered spoiler.
All right.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I think I talked about Dune at some point in time when we were talking about regular things.
I know you loved it.
I did love it. So I'm saying that like the last year and a half, almost 2 years have been kind of a fucking wasteland when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
Especially good ones, or movies where they have more than like two people in a scene at a time. Because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like it's starting to grow on me where it's like, yep, movies fucking suck now. Where it's just like like I just can't always put my finger on it, but clearly everything is fucking with everything, and we are getting the full blowback now. But I just wanted to say that like in a general world where it's been like disappointment after disappointment, the Batman is fucking amazing in my opinion. Like I think it might be, and this coming from Mr. Batman Begins, I can't talk about that anymore. It might be the most Batman movie that has ever been made. Like I'm just saying, like in terms of like, yeah, like Batman. Like this is what I think. This is when I think like Batman. This is what I think. Like like darkness and beating the fuck out of people. I'm just saying, like I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like there's his opening scene, like when he walks in and deals with some shit. Like I think every Batman has ever done. Like I think that's how every Batman has ever been introduced, is dealing with some thugs. But yeah, it's just like he just comes in and fucking wrecks them fools, and it's like, okay, maybe 40 beats a minute. I don't know. Definitely several trips to the ICU. Yeah. That's for sure. But yeah, I think the main thing about it that I don't want to be any more spoiler or talk any more about it. Other suffice to say, I recommend you go see it. Because I don't pay about attention to these things going in, and it doesn't affect me. I don't have kids, or I don't care what movies are rated. I am old enough to see them all. I thought for sure this movie was rated R. Like when it was over and I saw it was PG-13, I'm like, the fuck? I was honestly shocked. And like, because I thought they were just like, oh, you know, we made the Suicide Squad and stuff and Joker, like we're making our movies now because who gives a shit? But when I saw that it was PG-13, I'm like, y'all might have stretched that a bit. Because I think what I would have liked to have known and why it took me like a viewing or two to go from like that's really good to like that's fucking amazing. It's just like I was not expecting it to be as dark as it is. I mean, it is like it is the darkest, grimmest, grittiest Gotham to date, you know. So and a lot, and I will say that like another thing is like if you've seen any of the marketing things or clips from like talk shows and stuff, if you've seen anything from it, a lot of clips from that movie play very badly out of context.
Yeah.
Very, very badly out of context because there's this interrogation scene which when you realize what's happening in the movie, you realize why it's being so overacted. And I saw that on like Kimmel or somebody's clip thing, and it was just like, oh, I don't know about this movie. This doesn't look so good. And like Jeffrey Wright looks like he's hamming the fuck up, and what is going on here? And in context of the movie, it's great. It's like, oh, they are play acting. They are play acting within the sense of the movie. Even it's like, it's like there's a whole thing, happening here. So
honestly, the only clip I've seen is the one where he's chasing after a truck.
Okay.
And fucks up.
Okay.
That is the only clip I've seen.
All right.
Did
Somehow.
I just hear like
it was my
bell? Okay. Oh,
like I told you, my watch
okay.
never goes off until we're recording because I forgot to put it.
Totally fine. I just thought I was losing my mind and like I was hearing the bell.
Nope. I like literally like
the bell was tolling for me.
Never. You're for whom?
Yeah. My watch never ever goes off except when we're in here.
It's fine. I was just worried for my sanity. That's all.
Yeah. Just worry about your dong.
It takes care of itself.
Oh, okay. But yeah, anyway, that's just like, I just wished, I am not someone who's like, oh, I need to know, please warn me, trigger things in movies or whatever. I just think I would have benefited a little bit more knowing that, like, you're going into, like, Batman meets Seven, sort of, like, and just, like, that would have helped me, like, oh, okay, just,
So is this one clearly the most detective-y Batman?
Yeah, I'm saying it's all the things. Like, it is, like, it is, like, he's brooding the right amount. Like he's, got, I don't know, multiple personality disorder to the right amount. I mean, it's like, it's all played like psychologically to the right degree. Like detective shit is spot on. Like, I mean, it's just like, all of it is like, yes, it's like I just feel like this is the most Batman thing,
So the question is, would Jen probably hate it?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I have
the answer is yes.
I mean,
I'm just assuming.
I literally have no idea like what her tolerance for superhero movies or dark movies. I mean, does she like Fincher movies? Because I mean, this like I said,
the dark probably might not be.
I'm just saying, like
it's problem.
I mean, it's not 7-7, but I mean, it's like it's tonally, it's fucked up movie. So,
is it dark in that like? God damn it! I'm gonna have to go buy a 4K TV.
In that night way? No.
Yeah. Am I gonna have to go buy a 4K TV, 4K
with
UHD?
HDR? I mean that I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean there are some scenes like
because that's something that's like literally happening to me right now. Is like
the HDR-ness of things.
My TV is fine, right? But everything is using like. Everything that's being produced is expecting me to have a way better TV than I do.
That might be a case in certain scenes of this. There's,
okay.
I think either on air or not. If it wasn't on air, I will reiterate it now. I think it was during an extra. We were bemusing about some shitty '90s movie that like the action scene was filmed in a club, so the whole thing had the fucking strobe effect, but like in a bad way, but like in the scene's fully lit. So it's not like it's cutting in and out in the movie. It's just like it is a persistent strobe on the screen the whole time this action scene is happening. There is a similar scene in the Batman where it's like tracer rounds are used in an otherwise completely dark scene that's fucking cool as hell. I'm just saying, like, I was just on there. I was saying like, oh God, I hate strobe effects in movies. Fuck people that do that. But there are good examples of like using it to the actual strobe effect of like this is all you're supposed to see during these moments. That's great. Like I said, I hate it when people are like, this would be a cool, background scene. It's like, no, it's not. Now you have to slap an epilepsy warning on your movie. Good job, like.
I'm curious. This has made me curious because
Well, it's on HBO Max, so I mean,
Yeah.
we have that. We have access to that. So.
I'm on record as not being the biggest Nolan Batman fan, and this sounds like that plus.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's totally like Nolan, really. I don't know. I mean, darkness maybe, but
yeah. Well, you said like like Nolan Batman, but darker and grittier, and like that was already fucking dark and gritty enough for me. Probably too much. So we shall see. We shall see. Your discussion of it and how much you like it makes me interested. So
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman, so if nothing else,
That's right. I forgot about that.
she is a very attractive lady made by two very attractive humans. So the math checks out.
mm-hmm.
So real quick, speaking of Batman, I played Arkham Asylum again
Hell yeah, you did.
because I was like, I want to play something I'm good at and I know it and it's good. And yeah, that game's still really fucking good. So that's all I need to say. It is the perfect amount of game. Like there's not too many collectibles.
Right. Yeah.
It's not too big. It doesn't take you forever to get from one end of the island to the other. Yeah. The only annoying part is when Poison Ivy takes over the island and you go outside and those fucking orbs shoot at you.
I feel like that, and I didn't like the crumbly sewer part. When you're it's more of like a
because you can get lost.
Well, I mean, it's just like I don't know. It's like that just felt like one of those abilities sections where it's like I'm fucking Batman. Like I have, I gotta have something that can shoot somewhere that will get me out of here instead of having to hop. I don't know, that's all.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that game is still great, and that combat system still rules, and I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
Like I've almost beat Rumble and Jumble Extreme with 3. I was like literally 1,000 points short, and I got mad, but I was also like, that was awesome. That was the fucking best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Playing through that game while house sitting for Harlow over a weekend. One of my best gaming memories still.
Yeah.
Just like I got fucking nowhere to be, and the only place I'm going to be is right here playing this fucking game with like a giant bag of potato chips.
And the scarecrow glitch thing still fucking works.
Yep.
Because they give the sound too. They give the when it happens.
I mean, I did tell you that Arkham Asylum is the game that made my Xbox legitimately red ring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like that happened to me 20 minutes in gameplay before that. So when I got my fixed Xbox back and that section happened, I was doubly ready to break things, and then I realized it was in game, and suddenly came around to it being the greatest fucking thing ever. It was just like that was one of those like, what in the living fuck is wrong with this game? I'm gonna snap this disc in half. Like why does it keep breaking my goddamn Xbox?
Yeah, and it was the sound that it did when it just does the lock up sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, that game's great. That game uses all of Batman's villains in a really interesting way for each of them. They're all completely different feeling, and that's how you want it. So yeah. And you can get that stupid collection for like $5 now, and
on every device.
At this point, and
I mean,
it's still got the weird. Asylum still has the weird frame rate locked at 45 frames a second thing. That's a little odd, but it still plays. And looks great.
I mean, if you have a modern
that's Scarecrow.
TV, you're only going to see that, or that's only going to be weird to you if you don't have a VRR TV, i.e. BJ. But I mean, like, I'm just saying, you were just bemoaning your lack of things on TV, but that kind of stuff will stop being an issue when people have VRR TVs. I mean, variable refresh rates, it doesn't care what it's running at.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're a ways away from that being ubiquitous.
Yeah, you could say that.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it ever looked weird to me on my TV.
But it was also probably locked at 30 then. For this remaster, they upped it to 45.
Oh, they upped it.
And the PC version was like that too. It was locked at 45.
I'll get the PC version for 99 cents and report back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just strange things like that. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, the TV revolution may happen faster than I think because, I mean, these high feature TVs and like 50-inch TVs are starting to like come down to like $300 and stuff.
I just gotta get a job. Gotta get a job.
Yeah, I was just saying, the price and size and feature list is dropping, precipitously.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of dropping precipitously,
Yeah.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Okay.
I saw that
I've seen it too.
on opening night.
I didn't see it. Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it now. I didn't see it in a theater. I saw it when it came to home markets.
God, is it already on home markets?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What's
It's
it on
amazing how
HBO,
quickly
or-
that happens.
No, I mean like not. It's like one of those you can like buy or rent.
Oh,
You know,
right.
like, yeah, not like it's on.
You can
streaming thing.
rent for $25.
No, I mean
Yeah.
it's just one of those like it's standard price.
Oh, okay.
I just
Well,
went
that's
ahead and completed the collection.
Yeah. I've hit a weird point with the whole Jurassic World trilogy
Mm-hmm.
in that I get why some people hate it,
Okay.
but I don't care.
Sure.
'Cause I'm like, I don't mind these.
I didn't even mind the haunted house one. I mean, it's the less of probably all of them except for maybe 3, just because it doesn't have a third act. But,
Yeah.
I mean, but otherwise, like Joe Johnston made it. It's otherwise a pretty good.
Yeah,
movie.
I really like 3.
I mean, yeah, it just
Like
it doesn't-
the action stuff is
yeah.
probably the best action stuff
it
in
just
any of
doesn't
them.
have a third act. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, we're done now. It's like,
Which actually, this one probably has the best action out of all.
that multi sequence is fucking rad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, like anyone that can walk out of that and not appreciate the filmmaking. I mean, you don't even have to like be like, oh, they did that and they used this rig here. I'm just saying, like, if you could watch that and just be like, meh, then our fucking society is ruined. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm saying, like, if you can watch that and
like
just
you
be like,
can't. Yeah, you got to be. You have to appreciate something going on there.
yeah,
like,
I
like
mean, yeah.
what it takes to get
Yeah,
all that.
I'm sorry,
made.
like we are broken as a society. If you watch that sequence and it's just like, yeah, I've seen things like that. It's like, no, you fucking haven't. Like, that was Fast and the Furious level crazy camera work, and if you weren't paying attention, then yeah, I mean, I understand not everybody sees movies the way I do, and
Yeah.
things like that, and I get that, but it just nothing infuriates me more than like I mean, if I would rather someone just be like, I did not like that movie and give me a reason than like. You know, like I said, when, you know, like, I was like, what did you think of Pacific Rim to my stepfather? And he's just like, meh. And I'm like, that's your reaction to Pacific Rim. Like,
Yeah.
meh. I don't get it. It's giant robots. It's like you've seen 1,000 fucking giant
Yeah.
robots movies? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like you've seen movies where robots pick up Freightliner ships and hit people with them, or, you know, hit monsters with them. You've seen this before, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that in the war. Fuck you. World. But no, I just like I said, that for people that have that like a meta reaction to like that multi action sequence is just like that infuriates me. Like I mean, like I said, if you want to be like I've checked out a Jurassic Park at this point, that's fine, you know.
Yeah.
But like the filmmaking of that sequence is
Yeah.
I
just
believable.
I love that we have 6 Jurassic Park movies and we had a functioning park in half of one.
You mean like the first Jurassic World?
Yeah, the first half of Jurassic World, that park was functioning, and never had one that worked in the entirety of 6 movies.
Well, I mean, you base an entire franchise off of a story about an idea that failure from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
that the hubris was too big to
Yes.
contain.
hubris was the word I was trying to conjure and not use the other phrase.
Yeah, but I mean, the third act, I should hate because it's all like, remember that? And I don't care. It made me like it more.
I honestly, well, yeah, okay. I'm sorry, not everyone's seen it, and I didn't put the name together at first, and then it was like, I think honestly because I've been saying it wrong for
and there's a point.
30 years.
There's a point where they very clearly have a character say it in a particular way, so that you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then if you didn't get that later on, they're like, and this,
Yeah.
and this, and of course Jen. I was like, Jen picked it up like immediately.
Sure.
Immediately, she knew what character. I was like, okay, sure. Like that, it never even crossed my mind.
Like, I mean, I'm just happy in a world where so many things are like, you know, by the time you would get to a number 6, it's just like, who gives a shit? It's on video by now.
Mhm.
That like they bother to connect the dots at least. You know what I mean? Like this does feel like it ties the room together. Sort of like
they're wrapping things.
Yeah,
up.
like we actually can be done with this now, or at least done with these central characters, and you know, we can go have Jurassic Adventures or something. But you know, like just this generally is done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's not great,
No.
but I certainly liked it more than the mansion one.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
I always even have to think of the name of that one.
And that's the thing. Like the first hour of Fallen Kingdom's pretty good.
I didn't even mind the mansion part, but like I said,
Yeah.
I mean, I am one of the suckers. It's like, give me dinosaurs doing dinosaur shit, and I'm a giddy school kid. I'm still just like, fucking dinosaurs are on screen,
Yeah.
eating people and shit. I mean, fuck. Again, I'm just like, how can you just be like mad at this point? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand how some people have like lost the quote unquote magic. You know, I'm just like, I don't know. I think it's just, I mean, I think it's just too much. You know. Like,
yeah, and I know we've had this discussion before, but I just feel like it's such a big part of it is CG removing the how the fuck did they do that thing? You know, now you have to rely on camera work, but I think a lot of people are just like, they just did all that in CG and plugged the people's faces on the CG stuff, you know, and it's like maybe they did, but
yeah, maybe
there has to be practical plates somewhere.
I'm still, I mean, I'm honestly, I mean, I similar to talking about this discussion, it can then tail in. I watched all of the Light and Magic documentary. Anyone else?
I have not.
Okay. The thing about ILM, there's
Mm.
a,
okay.
there's a 6-part documentary on Disney Plus. Like, but
I need to watch that.
yeah,
Even though Jen will never watch it, but I need to find a way to watch it myself.
It's good. I will say, expect, like, I feel like, again, I want to warn you just because I feel like the formula, at least especially in the first episode, there's usually like a cold open about 30 seconds to 2 minutes with various soundbitey people that are basically sucking ILM's dick and George Lucas in turn. And then it becomes a documentary again, and then usually it'll close out a little bit more fleeting. So I'm just saying, like, be prepared. Like, I was like on that thing where I was like, if this starts sucking George Lucas's dick too much, because he's a no talent hack and always was. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it.
Direction wise, yes.
Yeah, well, mostly everything. Honestly, I feel like yeah. No, I mean, if you watch this, I think he's a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, he's definitely a dweeb.
well, no, I mean he's a dweeb that like doesn't even like have. I mean, if you think about his concept, it's like, yeah, no shit, George, good job. Like, I don't know, like, whatever.
He's a good businessman.
Sure, yes, he made very good decisions and worked with very good
He
people.
loves his grandchildren.
Yeah. Anywho,
And then he hired Rick McCallum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it all went downhill.
Anyway, it's a very good documentary, but I have sort of a new love or appreciation, I guess I should say, for the seamlessness of CG in movies, because especially like in some of the latter day episodes when they are in the like T2 era, the like, you know, the early days of CG and stuff, and maybe a little bit later, but it was just like, or like when they kept showing clips from like Jumanji, like talking about like, you know, how they were doing good CG, it's like, not in Jumanji. Like that all looks like ass. Like that all looks like cartoon ass. Like, I mean, it's just like it's all very badly shaded and brightly lit. And anyway, I was just like, we've come a long way, and it's like, you know, to for it to now be more seamless, I'm perfectly okay with that as an art form too. Now, you know, like, so
Yeah, I believe there's a discussion going around the Discord about it today. But there is a weird over-reliance on it, I think, right now. Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
That is making movies look weird, and I think Thor 4, I think, is a really good example of that. There's a lot that doesn't work in that specifically because of the CG, and it's just, it's everywhere, and it's everything, and like I'm sure somebody will like email me a YouTube link that's like, oh, actually, more things in Thor 4 were real than you thought. But
Not really.
But there's a lot. There's so much that's
Well, I hate to say that's like
blatantly CG, and I like the movie in spite of it, and but I like it less because of it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
there are other problems with Thor 4.
Yeah,
but
like so much of the Marvel stuff is CG. Like apparently a lot of the action scenes are like entirely CG.
Yeah,
and the directors are basically just like, yeah, do what the fuck ever. You know,
right? It's
and that.
Yeah, I mean that's no bueno. I mean, it's just.
I understand.
And you see like things where CG was starting to go bad, thanks a lot in part to George Lucas and just, you know, thinking he's God. Because, I mean, I didn't even realize they were doing shit like this, but there are composited shots in, like, episode 1 where it's just like, oh, I like Liam's performance here, but I don't like his performance from this take. Use the one from take 3, so they like cut in Captain Tanaka or whatever next to Liam Neeson from a completely different take, and it's just like, you've gone too far. Like, I mean, I feel like, like maybe you've gone too far, because like, sometimes it has to be like, it's still supposed to be performance art, and it's like, you can't, like, at a certain point, like, it ceases to be art and it becomes perfection, like, and I feel like that's what George Lucas is like, trying to paint the perfect fractal instead of like making a like an artistic movie. It's like he wants Star Wars to be this like, I saw this perfect thing and it looks exactly like this, and it's like, no, George, like, art is what happens in the happy accidents, like, as Bob Ross would say. It's like, that's where the art really is, not the perfection. So I mean, yes, fine, get rid of the matte platings and things like that in Star Wars, but like, don't insert stupid musical numbers and things like that. Like,
Well, there's something actually kind of genius about being able to splice in a different take. Like,
sure,
like two actors, they both had their best performance of a take in a separate take, and being able to weave that together to make something better.
I suppose maybe
that's super cool.
Yeah.
But like, it's fucking Lucas, so I know he fucking.
Oh, this was just like nitpicky. Like, oh, I like how he has his hands here better. Yeah. It was all that. It was just like, hey, look, he's resting his hands here, but if you use this cut, it'll look more seamless if you do this.
And while we're on Marvel, as it relates to CG nightmares, I mentioned Thor 4, but I actually want to go back to something a little bit earlier, which is Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
Harlow, you told me that you really liked it.
I really liked it.
May have been one of your favorite Marvel things ever. Something like that, something to that effect.
I think
very high praise.
I think it's the best TV thing they've made, except for maybe Loki. I mean,
it's got the clearest artistic vision behind it.
Yeah, it's really good. I finally watched it,
and they actually let them do something fun with it.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, all the performances were pretty solid.
Like I said,
there's a bit of CG mess.
Yeah,
but
because I mean, her power being CG is. I mean, it has to be, but I mean, it's also looks weird from that time. Am I wrong? Did they never show? I can't remember her female best friend in the first episode. I swear to God, she just like Houdini's into the second episode. Like, she was there the whole time, and I was like, who are you? Like, because like she becomes a major character, but it's like, I swear she wasn't in the first episode like at all.
Like, the one that gets elected.
Yeah. Like, I honestly don't remember her name, but
I don't remember
Nadia or something like that.
Nakia.
Yeah, I don't remember if she's in the first episode or not.
And
I haven't finished the show,
because I think
I've seen the first.
I think that's what I tweeted, because I like tonally I felt like they
you tweeted.
Well, maybe it was in Discord, whatever. I did. I have tweeted occasionally from time to time.
Like lately?
Yeah.
Oh wow. He has
from time to
time. I've liked a couple of them.
But yeah, no, it was like, I think I just was like, tonally I felt like it found its own voice better by the second episode, and also, but I was just like, did her friend just magically appear? Like, because I was like, I swear to God, only the dude was in it.
Yeah,
Brian,
I think she
Bruno.
I know.
Bruno.
The guy kept calling him Brian. Right.
I think you're right. She may have been in it a little bit, but I don't think she showed up for real until like the second.
I just feel like it's how it was like, hey, we're going on our adventures. Like, who are you? like it's just weird to like whatever, like drop a main character.
And it's nice to have basically the Spider-Man story in the MCU, because they skipped it. Yeah. Tom Holland was already, like, he's basically, the kid with a rich uncle, as far as those movies go.
Right.
And they never had the whole, like, trying to sneak around and trying to still go to school and be a super, like all that stuff that makes, that people originally connected with Spider-Man for in the first place. And it's nice having that sort of character in a show that's doing that, and that they didn't make a movie out of it, that they made a 6-episode series where they had some time to actually develop things and develop her friends and all that.
I'm glad you probably wouldn't see this having that kind of, I'm glad they brought her brother around, because I really thought I was going to hate him when the show started.
Yeah, it looked like they were setting him up to be like, just like, turbo fundamentalist asshole sort of thing.
Or just, like, I am all by the book and this is how it is, and like it's like Captain Bureaucracy or whatever. Yeah, they redeemed him.
Yep.
But yeah, they didn't even really like redeem him. They just like
nudged.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to what we thought was going to happen just never panned out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He was
But
just a bit of a nerd,
Yeah.
and then
I
turns out he's a.
I like the show. I was like, the way you were asking, I thought you were. I thought you were.
Did
being
you
like,
think I was about to
well,
fucking dunk on
because you're
it
like
for 12
speaking of
minutes?
CG Nightmare right now. I was like, this fucking sucked, and I was like, all right.
No. I was just trying to seg
okay, so,
through
sure,
the
sure.
Marvel thing.
Right.
There was a little bit of CG Nightmare in that, but also it still looked pretty good.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that really.
I mean,
like,
I'm glad they went with the crystal thing instead of just stretchy, like Mr. Fantastic looking powers.
Yeah, because that looked terrible in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's a stretchy thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to make him look good. I don't think there's a way to make that character look good and not stupid.
I didn't think.
I don't.
Looked, but
If it happened in real life, it would look stupid.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of the point.
It's a goofy power.
I think that the trick is, and I don't want to go down too far down discussion and spoiler territory alley, but I think the trick is like the dumber the power, the more you need an actor that's willing to sell it. Like look at Elizabeth Olsen, like set photos, like where there's no CG, and it's like she's selling the shit out of like.
Nothing.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you've got to have someone who's like willing to make the face motions and all that to like make it look all right.
While we're on Elizabeth Olsen, I saw.
I won't make any jokes.
Is that an option?
No.
I don't know. Doctor Strange Multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucking dynamite. She is like.
Yeah.
I'm not all in on Doctor Strange necessarily, and I don't really know how I feel about Multiverse of Madness at this point, but I know how I feel about Elizabeth Olsen's portrayal of that character, and it is they couldn't have fucking picked a better one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was the first movie I saw in the theater since Rise of Skywalker.
Wow.
Went almost a year and a half. And then finally, Jen and I were like, we need to see something. And and it was a month later, and that theater was still almost packed.
Yep.
And we wore our masks the whole time, which was fun with 3D glasses as well, because that was the only showing we could get the tickets for.
And then probably like, unbeknownst to everybody, Disney Plus dropped it like 3 days later, probably, because they dropped that shit fast.
It was maybe like a week and a half later, I think, because we saw it late. I don't know if it was Memorial Day weekend or not, but it was pretty late.
I just swear it was like that showed up, and I was like, really?
I think they wanted to do it right before Thor. I think that's what it was, even though literally nothing from there pertains to Thor. But that movie, if you didn't know it was Sam Raimi, you know by the end of it, because they're just like, we're gonna Raimi this thing up, and I don't know if it's entirely successful. And it's weird because
it's not entirely successful.
Yeah,
no.
and it's weird because we know he can do creepy shit, and Thor 4 does creepy shit 1,000 times better in the scenes where you need the creepy shit. And it's and maybe it's just Christian Bale selling the fuck out of it, but it's so much better in Thor 4. And it's like, wait, but you got Sam Raimi. How is this? What? And there's a few touches I really like the music fight. I think is really it's something different at least. But I think everyone else hates it. I might be the only one who does actually like the music fight.
I am between you guys.
Yeah.
I am split down the middle. I want to love that, but I don't know that I can.
Here's my problem with the music fight. I'd already checked out of the movie by then. That's
which
the
is fair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think I said it before. I did not. That's the first MCU movie I straight up think I don't like at all. So not even just Thor 4 is boring, or Thor 2 is boring but watchable. I don't know about Thor 4 yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that,
Yeah.
and I think what we were sold for that doesn't help it any, and calling it the Multiverse of Madness when it's really the multiverse fun stuff is a 60-second montage in the beginning of the second act, and then it's okay, here we are, we're in these 3 locations.
Yeah, I just
Yep.
There's so much for me that doesn't work. I mean, portrayal or acting chops aside, I do not like what happens with Wanda's character. It makes you question
Yeah.
why you were spending any time you had spent with that character at all. And B, I mean, I feel like America Chavez is like supposed to be a bigger deal and a bigger character in that movie, and it's just like it just felt like you're here now. I just don't feel like there wasn't a lot of like emphasis put on her backstory or you know a lot done to like make you care. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean,
we got a 90-second flashback.
Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
Yeah, I just mean like it's not enough that like you know you don't. She doesn't get a lot to like get you ingrained in like save the cheerleader, save the world kind of thing, you know. So,
yeah. I mean, I agree with you about the Scarlet Witch stuff, like the story, for sure.
Yeah, and the stuff they do isn't like, oh, we could just undo that later. Like it's kind of like, no, you're kind of stuck with this. Like this character did these things. You're kind of stuck with that. You're not, and the thing is it's. I mean, I understand the motivation they're going for when they're with the things they're doing with her, but it's also kind of like the way they have it played doesn't work for me.
Well, I think it all. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think fundamentally, this is going to sound so awful from this face saying this, but like so much of what the MCU has done has been women empowerment, and now you're basically like, she had fake kids, she got mad, and now she fucked everything up, and she's super fucking evil now, and it's just like because she had hormones or something, and it's like, really, that's what we're back to, like she had a angry mommy issue, like I don't know, it's just like like she got hysterical. Well, I mean, like this is, I mean, I don't know, it's just,
and there's a lot of stuff like they don't really get into at the end as far as like, but where they go, like physical location, and then why those things are there that pertain specifically to her, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I did not like it, and I did try to watch it again when it dropped in Disney Plus. You know, because I was like, mood, whatever. Let's give it another go before you're like, completely. Especially with something where I was like, you had a pretty good streak going of 23 or so movies of like, those are all pretty good to really good.
Yeah, and I feel like so many of those movies, I mean, everyone complains, oh, you have to have seen all the other ones. And it's like, I don't necessarily think that's true. I mean, most of the stories end up being fairly self-contained, other than like, hey, how'd the Hulk end up here? You know, like those sorts of things. But in general, it's like you can watch any of them and be like, okay, yeah. And that one, I feel like you had to have watched WandaVision to understand any of the plot. Like
absolutely.
I feel like that was one where it was like, no, this is actually a requirement, is to watch this 9-episode TV series or whatever it was.
Yeah, which is also then feels like a waste of time.
Yeah, which is then undone basically by this movie.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like you have to do this, but also it will be a waste of time. And like, cool, it feels like work. Yeah.
Why are movies giving me homework now?
Well, I just work. Like, like, please, this is the most important thing. Please spend the next 16 hours of your working life on this. Oh, we don't need that now. We decided to do this other way. So and like we've talked about, like with Spider-Man, I don't even know if I talked about No Way Home or not, but I've seen that too, and it's just like the LED soundstage, man. I fucking hate it. It's not all bad. I did not know the Batman was primarily shot on one of those.
Oh, really?
If that
that's why they was so dim. They just didn't turn on the LED wall.
No, I just like, and then like there's a little behind the scenes thing on the bonus features that like explain actually how and why it worked to their advantage. Like, and also now I know that thing has a name. It's called the Volume.
The Volume. Okay.
That's what ILM calls it anyway.
Whenever Marvel uses it, I fucking hate it. And there's scenes in Thor, especially like when they're on the boat, where it's like, wow, you bitches are definitely in the fucking volume now.
I'm not saying I like the name,
this looks like it just,
no, it's the Volume.
It is just what it's called.
Yeah,
to ILM
I know, but and I feel like the entire fucking third act of Spider-Man, once he leaves that apartment complex, is all the Volume scenes, and it's like, man,
please do not look directly at the volume.
Please do not taunt the
do
volume.
not taunt the Volume. Yeah,
And now, Coming to the ring, 6 feet 9 inches tall, 387 pounds, from parts unknown. It's the Volume.
Yeah, but
you hear me now?
yeah, but there's so much Doctor Strange stuff that all you can tell was shot in there too, and it just
Get off your masses and let's go. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm done now. Yeah,
math
I'm going to
joke.
be an indie wrestler called the Volume now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, but I understand COVID, all that stuff, but it fucked up their Phase 4 pretty bad. And considering they've already announced Phase 5, they're like, yeah, the Black Panther's the end of Phase 4, and it's like, really?
I thought Kang was going to be the end of Phase 4. Like, you know, like they usually end with an Avengers movie.
And it's the end of Phase 6 or whatever it is. Like, why even bother giving them phases?
I don't know.
Honestly, because like this one has been like the most.
Because a project manager made that fucking outline.
And it's like, you know, I still enjoy these Marvel things, but you know, in talking about Thor, in Thor, there is a really heavy-duty opportunity to do something interesting with the villain as it pertains to real-life events that they touch on, but they just run the fuck away from it because it's a Marvel movie and we can't really get into that shit. It's kind of like, you know, now that we watch Dark Knight Rises, we're like, Bane's kind of got a point. Like, Bane actually may have it figured out. I mean, his methods are shitty. You know, it's kind of like the whole the Black Panther thing as well. It's like,
a reckoning needs to
yeah,
happen.
where it's like, you know, like Killmonger, you're an asshole, but you're not wrong.
Right.
And it's like with Gore, I
Fucking stupid name.
the God Butcher.
The
But-
God Butcher is a cool fucking
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
Gore
with-
sucks.
With the God Butcher,
There you go.
you have this opportunity to make this commentary on, okay, people are destroying the earth and they have the power to stop it, and they've said, I'll be safe where I am.
Right.
And that movie never really addresses it at all. And it's right there. It is sitting there.
Well, they spend like 20 minutes on it, but they don't do anything with it. They spend
Yeah.
20 minutes bringing it up, and then they don't do anything.
I
with
mean, are
it.
they just supposed to be slightly allegorizing as far, if that's a word, you know, to make
Is now.
to start the conversation? I mean, I don't know.
I don't-
You know,
I don't think so because
I haven't seen it, so I
No,
can't.
Okay,
they're doing
so
it. They're
the-
doing it to get a moment.
Okay.
yeah, and the problem with that movie that I have specifically is tone. It is Taika Waititi jokey as fuck for like 75% of it. And then there's the 10% with Christian Bale being absolutely fucking awesome and creepy as shit that works really, really well. And like the first 10 minutes of that movie is fucking phenomenal. Like I absolutely love the first 10 minutes of that movie with him. But it's such a whiplash back and forth. And the parts where you could actually have some real commentary on these, like, you could stop all this, you could save everything, you could do the right thing, and they don't, that just becomes jokey again and actiony, and then it's like, never mind, you know. And there's something about it, you know. It's just like I talk about, like movies like Bird Box. I don't know why that keeps becoming my example, and I don't know why, because I don't give a fuck about that movie.
You like birds and boxes.
But like for some reason, Bird Box was like, you really had the opportunity to actually do something interesting, and you ran the fuck away from it every given opportunity you had. Like, and it's like, no, we can't. No, we're not touching that. You know, and it feels like that's what this is, where it's like, you actually have the chance to give the movie more meaning than it does, as opposed to just and God, I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, but to just like throw in token, hey, here's a gay relationship we're talking about. And I mean, I want to see more of that in movies. I don't want to see it the way it's done in this movie, where it's just like, oh yeah, here it is, you know. And it's like, you know, it feels like Disney having, you know, a gay pride parade and then fucking donating to DeSantis. You know, it's the same shit, where it's just like, yeah, we care about this a little.
and as much as it makes us money.
Yeah, and like it just and it feels like such a token thing to toss in that it bothers the fuck out of me.
Oh, they don't use tokens at Disney anymore. You just get a pass and you can do everything inside the park. Yeah.
Hey, we still have some of the old ones from the original when they opened
the
it.
ABCDE tickets.
They were.
Yep.
They were. I was going to say they were tickets, not tokens.
Yeah,
but
we
yeah.
still have some of those. But and
Go to
you know what?
Defunctland to see more about.
And that happens in Doctor Strange too. I mean, at least that way it feels more natural. I don't know any other way to put it, but it feels like, when they talk about America's parents, where it's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like
If
that
they're
works.
Lesbians, okay.
Yeah,
Deal
and
with it.
that somehow works better than how they do it in Thor, where they're just like, we're going to explain it, and we're going to explain it a little more, just so you, in case you missed it. And it's like, okay, whatever, man. Just
Wait, is Korg gay? Is he fucking Mick? I don't know.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
really how it works?
yes,
Okay. I mean, I
no,
assume.
I don't.
yeah. I just
No, right?
I don't know. Like it. I just. And I can't even believe I'm saying it and
Can I-
complaining about it.
Can I
but
tell him the storytelling conceit, like the overarching? Is that
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. That Korg is narrating.
Korg is
the
basically
movie.
narrating it like a bunch of fairy tales for kids, or not fairy tales, but like a bunch
Okay,
of
so
campfire tales
I've
for
seen
kids.
there is a trailer like that.
Okay,
so that's
yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah,
the whole
it's
thing.
not
Yeah.
huge, but it is
It is.
recurring. It happens
So
like
it's kind of
six
like it's kind of
times.
like C-3PO telling the Ewok kids stories.
Somewhat, yes. Yes.
pretty much.
Yes. Sir.
But it just something about the way it's handled in this one rubbed me the wrong way completely.
Somebody said that this should have been a series, and I think it was somebody in Discord that I usually don't agree with. That's the impression that I get from the back of my brain, and I have to say that I actually agree with that.
I don't.
Really would have. I think it really would have benefited from more time to, because the core storytelling thing feels like it's an excuse, and I liked it more when I walked out of the theater, but it feels more like an excuse to cut things for time.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of things that they spend way too long on that they, in this movie, that they should have cut for other things. Like, I'm way more interested in Jane Foster.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough time spent on that. That's as far as I'll say. I want that story.
Yeah.
I want that 2-episode like focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the episode that's just about them living a normal life.
Yeah.
Like episode 3 is just like taking a break. Nobody's fighting anything. They're just living their normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you turning your ears off? Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm
Excuse me.
I can totally still hear you, so
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
Yeah. But and I feel this one suffers a lot from trailers and previews and commercials and everything else, because I feel like so much of what's in there that should be a nice surprise isn't a surprise.
I've only seen that one, so I mean, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I mean, I've seen the back of Russell Crowe's head because I know he's in it. I've seen because I'm pretty sure he's playing Zeus or
Yeah.
I ain't telling you shit.
And
Well,
I
I mean,
feel
I-
like,
well, I
I
couldn't
feel
remember
like
if-
that's a fun reveal.
well, I couldn't remember if it was Zeus or Apollo. I knew it was one of the the
It
thunder
is
gods.
Zeus.
Yeah, okay. And then
I didn't recognize him.
What?
I know. I'm still not
What?
expecting
Yeah.
that
mean,
Russell Crowe.
I mean, I know I saw that, and I saw obviously Jane has the reformed Mjolnir, so
Mhm.
don't
Yep,
know
yep.
how or why. I just think that's
They do explain it.
yeah. I'm sure. I'm just saying that's
Mhm.
what I basically know.
Do they?
Yes,
And
they do.
yeah,
actually.
and then Valkyrie's in it, so yeah, I know
Yeah.
she's in it a lot.
It's, and here's the thing, with all these complaints, with me going, well, there's a chance to do something more interesting, and they run away from it. I still enjoyed the shit out of it, because I think it was. To say I've had a really shitty past week is probably a pretty big understatement. So to have something that's just entertaining and fun and funny, and took my mind off everything else for 2 hours.
It's important. I will.
It's okay for those things to exist as well. I think the best of them know how to do both, where you can watch the movie, be entertained, and then later on go, oh yeah, shit, I didn't even think about it like that. You know, and like those are the best movies that can pull that off, and there's not many of them.
Well,
but this one I think just doesn't get there.
So with the complaint, I'm assuming with the homosexual relationship or whatever, has anyone that has also vocalized this complaint or said in it what's wrong with it watched Our Flag Means Death? I'm just curious because that was like a stealth gay sitcom.
Which is
everything I heard, I thought that was a super gay sitcom.
Well, it is, but I mean, it's like you don't really know it going in. I mean,
gotcha.
I mean, not in like a duped way. I mean, it's just like
they don't make a big deal about it.
It just feels tossed in. I'm not complaining that it exists. I'm complaining about the way that it's presented.
Okay.
Where it just feels like we're tossing this in here because we need and maybe
sitcom's not the right word for Our Flag Means Death because that's audience members and blah.
Yeah, but and maybe that's why Taika specifically wanted it in there, which is fine. Like he's one of the writers on the movie and the director, but it's still I feel like there are better ways to give that stuff, and to develop it more and not just kind of toss it in a 30-second thing and be like, cool, here you go.
I mean,
you wanted this, right?
I feel like the thing is that this, I mean, I just don't, again, I'm not the right person to have too much of an opinion on this, but I feel like we're in a stage where it's better shown and not told unless it needs to be. Like, I just think it needs to become a normality where it's just like, this character has two dads, or America Chavez has two moms. It just doesn't really matter.
And I think that's why I like it in that one because she's just like, yeah, my mom's.
Yeah.
And that's like the extent of it.
Right. And I mean, I feel like that's unless like I feel like unless like you're dealing with a character in the movie that is ignorant for some reason. And I think that's like why I say that Our Flag Means Death is kind of a stealth gay rom-com, whatever you want to call it. Pirate rom-com, is just because, you're, I mean, I know there's lots of jokes about pirates being gay and things like that, and, lots of men's on ships and things like that, but I mean, like, it's also from an era where that was totally verboten and not talked about and frowned upon and outright mocked and people shot and, and things like, persecution, outward persecution, and so I think it's just like, I'm saying it's stealth because you're like, well, I'm going to watch this period, pirate thing. I'm not, expecting people to just be like, oh yeah, you're gay, cool, like moving on, like have that, mentality that everybody should have, and it's just like, that's why I'm saying it's kind of stealthy because it's just like, oh well, they're more progressive in this 18th century or 19th century pirate ship than we are now. Perhaps.
Well, there are a lot of like. There was plenty of gay in Pirates,
sure,
and in ancient Greece, etc. I chuckled when you mentioned America Chavez's two moms because I was just remembering like the frothing man babies on the internet who are like, well, that's probably not really real moms. One was real and the other was disguised as a woman, just like breaking themselves in half to like. To justify somehow that wasn't actually her parents.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why I laughed because dumb man babies like that.
Yeah, I guess what I'm just trying to say is I think like the way to handle it going forward is just to be like it is
for it to just be
it is, and like we don't have to speechify or it all the time. Like I said, unless it's the story is like in service of the story of like. This is an ignorant character, and they need to be schooled, and or our intended audience is ignorant fucks, and they need to be schooled. Yeah. If you want to sneak some stuff into like an episode of the Jeff Foxworthy show or something that might actually still be on the air, then like I'm saying, like,
we live in hell, so probably yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like if you want to sneak something like that onto there, that's different. But I mean, I would think the majority of Marvel going fans, except for these people that have issues with. Things. I mean, the only reason I've ever had issues in like, gender swapping or race swapping characters or anything like that is just like, but it asks questions. It doesn't. That it opens cans of worms where you're like, well, then now I have questions, and you've just made it hard. Like the Fan 4 stick, where it's like, Michael B. Jordan and Kate Mara being brother and sister, and it's like it's never explained how, why, whatever. It's just all right. I mean, I know these things can happen, but like you've just created a situation where it's like, all right, but what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I just, in thinking about how, side note for Marvel, how good that Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer is. Like, one of the best trailers I've seen in years.
Yep.
And thinking about like how Black Panther handled subtext and making it foreground text in a lot of points with Killmonger and going, yeah, well, this guy's not wrong. If you're hoarding all this stuff and not sharing it with people who need it, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then of course he's the wrong guy to make that happen.
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
who knew that a guy named Killmonger might be the wrong guy to enact things?
Yeah. But at least, and I think that's why that movie is so highly regarded, is because it handled questions about those sort of things and allegory in a really smart way. Whereas I feel like Thor has the chance to do that, but I don't think Taika Waititi was equipped to do it. Unfortunately. Yeah. And speaking of him, how is? Oh wait,
Can I before we run
move
away
on.
from
All right.
the four, that final battle scene,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite things. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There is some
on
really,
par with
really-
Ragnarok. Like
and that's the point where like the tone meshes the way it should,
yes,
and it pays off.
yeah,
And that's all I'll say about it. But it works. It works like a champ.
yeah. There's one thing in particular that is
Yeah.
one of my favorite shots in a movie that I've seen in the last year.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a resident Taika Waititi person, as I think I've seen everything he's done except for Hunt for the Wilder People, which I'll get on soon. But
Yeah. So
ask away.
Our Flag Means Death.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
It's a good
We haven't
show.
really talked about it.
It's a good show. I mean,
and it's
fun.
not coming back, by the way.
It's not.
No,
okay.
HBO Max is
One and done?
fucking canceling everything.
No.
So
Like everything? Like, what do you mean? Like
they're like pulling movies that are only on HBO Max. Like they're
pulling. What do you mean? They're like
American Pickle.
it's just gonna go off of there?
Yep.
And go where? Just
Nowhere.
why?
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's like their whole merging with Discovery, and like the new boss is just axing it's bad.
Okay.
It's really stupid, and people are like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, that was one of the first shows to get the axe.
Okay. Well, I mean, it had somewhat of a conclusion, I suppose. It'd be fine. I liked it. It's a good show. I mean, it was fun. I mean, the only thing that kept throwing me, and it's only because of having recently replayed some of it when it got remastered for like the 8th time. There's the dude in there that I don't think I've ever seen him in person in anything else, but he's the voice of Wade in GTA 5. And as soon as he talks, you're like, oh, you're Wade from GTA 5. The Juggalo friend from, what's his face's Juggalo friend from the desert? Like, yeah, it's kind of hey, what's his name?
Sound kind of like Scooter.
What's Lester? Who's the crazy guy? Lester? Yeah, Lester's the I'm going to murder you redneck guy, right?
No, Lester's the one with the cane.
Yeah, so who's, what's the guy, the playable
Trevor.
guy? Trevor.
Yeah.
He's Trevor's, like, Juggalo friend, but, hey,
Okay.
Trevor! Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Kinda sounds like Scooter.
Kind of got a lisp a little bit, and, but yeah, he's in that, and it was just like, the first time he spoke, it was like, oh, that's you, okay. Yeah, it was just one of those weird things. Also, Hodor's in it, too.
That guy seems like a nice guy.
He's a DJ.
He has
Yes.
a large penis.
Okay.
I assume they show it.
We've seen it. It was in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
It almost like dangled in the water.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
I don't.
He walks up behind somebody, like, I think Arya or somebody who's like sitting in the water, and like, I swear to God, his dong almost like drops in the water. It's like, yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
That man has the largest penis I have ever seen. I don't know if he has.
I thought that was common knowledge. I thought everyone remembered Hodor's dong.
No,
Because it was.
I do not remember Hodong.
All right. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Maybe I saw it and was amazed.
You've never seen a big one.
Maybe I'm amazed. Yeah, no, I mean, I liked Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah.
That was good. What else have I been watching on all the streaming things? So many shows.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
YouTube, huh? Yeah, I have too.
Don't ask me for any recommendations. It's all just melted together.
Well,
into a
since
giant
you guys
pile
told
of
me to watch
half
Todd
knowledge.
in the Shadows, I keep watching Todd in the
Oh, dude.
Shadows, and
I don't even know that. So.
Music critique.
yeah,
Um,
he reviews one-hit wonders,
Mm.
and he goes like, okay, here's what they did before, here's where they fucked up.
Mm.
You know,
He also has a series called Train Records that is about like the album that killed an artist's career. And
Oh,
those
like
are,
the
those
spaghetti incident, whatever.
well, I know Metallica's Saint Anger is one of them.
Stanger. Yeah.
It was the spaghetti incident, right? The Guns N' Roses album. I think that was just like.
That was more of like a B-sides like thing. I thought.
Oh,
Like,
I think there was one that was like. There was like a big one that was like after the Use Your Illusions that tanked fucking huge.
that was the one, but
Okay.
and then there was Chinese Democracy, which nobody cared about because it
Right.
took him like 25 years to put it out.
But yeah, there are a bunch of really good episodes of Todd in the Shadows.
Yeah, it's definitely
Any
worth
of the
watching.
one-hit Wonderland stuff
Yeah.
is really good.
I still like Pat Finnerty more because Pat Finnerty is more my sense of humor
Yeah,
for sure.
right. Like
Because especially the older Todd in the Shadow stuff, it's very much a guy with the glasses template that
Yeah.
doesn't always work and feels forced.
I don't even know what the guy with the glasses thing is, but it doesn't seem like anything I need to involve myself in.
It's very much that like
Angry
I'm
person.
angry at this, but it doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of his early, I've watched some of his early pop song review stuff, and it
Mhm.
seems like that.
I mean, the idea of not being able to conjure anger in this world right now.
Right. You
Like,
should be able to
These
actually
are,
be
like I said,
angry
these
about
are older
things.
videos. These
okay,
are like
I'm
7,
just
8
saying,
years
like
old.
the idea
Yeah.
of having to manufacture fake anger. It's just like,
Yeah.
man, to be where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the early stuff sort of relies on vaguely skit-like introductions and
Mhm.
bits, and they feel forced.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's good. I have an idea for a bit I wanted to share with you guys. Not on the air because it's
Of course.
first show. But
okay, we can do a bit.
Yeah.
we haven't done a
Yeah.
bit in a while. I
Yeah.
have an idea for a
Bits.
bit.
8-bit.
It's the return of the bit.
Well, it's a bit that goes along with the movie, so we have to wait for Chuck to come back.
Ah.
So,
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like I found an idea for a dumb movie for us to watch. And I have an idea.
Surprise! I've been doing a bit this whole time. I actually hate everyone,
Oh man.
Man,
all of you. I've
Well,
just been
dang
doing
it.
this to slowly embezzle tens of dollars
Mm.
from the Patreon.
How's it working out?
Pretty great, tens of dollars.
Sweet.
yeah,
Ah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I feel like I've watched so much shit.
Well,
but, like, yeah,
We never did talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, did we?
no, we never really did.
I feel like I've talked about it, but
Yeah.
I know I have not.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't know.
It's a poorly written show that I liked.
Yeah, accurate.
Okay.
Looked really good.
Yeah. I think the last
The volume looked good in that.
the volume. I think
Please
the,
do not disrespect the volume.
I think the last 2 episodes are really good.
Mhm.
And I think Ewan
mhm.
McGregor sells everything that should have been sold in Revenge of the Sith way better in this. And the way
Yeah.
they deal with it erases some of my major complaints that happen in earlier episodes.
Fair.
Okay, so completely not. I know we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be reductive, but this is Ewan McGregor related. I will kick myself if I don't mention this, only because it's one of those like weird revelations.
Mm-hmm.
He made those like motorcycle series shows,
Yes.
like the Long Way Round, Down,
Yep.
Up, or whatever. So I think it's the first one, Round. It's when they're in Alaska and they go visit like the falls or whatever, and
Mhm.
the grizzly bears come and catch the salmon.
Yeah.
That shot that is like in the Apple stock photos, like spinning, falling photos of, is directly from that show. Not just like, oh, it's a grizzly bear. Like that is like a stolen frame from that show. I was watching that show and I was like, that is. Like,
You're doing the snap point.
yeah, I was just like, if you've ever seen like, there's only like 6 stock photos
Yeah.
on OS 10, whatever it was when they
Mhm.
introduced that Ken Burns falling photo thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like one of them was a grizzly bear with a salmon, and now I
Yeah.
saw the source and I was like, holy shit. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a weird show, honestly. Like,
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the Inquisitors at all. The only thing I care about is Ewan McGregor's character work through that show.
Yeah.
And it's pretty decent until you get to the last 2 episodes, and then it's just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that someone sitting down and like doing drawing work and coming up with the Inquisitors is cool, but
Right.
I think like their designs and their idea, but like it's so expanded universe bullshit. Because I mean, if you think about it, it's like,
how does it even work with any of how the Sith shit works?
well, that and like also, I mean, yes, I mean that in and of itself, because like the Sith aren't really supposed to be really at full power, and it's not like they were a training factory or anything.
Yeah.
Anything, it's like Vader was supposed to be the Emperor's first, second, I guess, because he had Darth Maul. Whatever. Forget about that guy. Yeah.
And Count Dooku.
Sure. Fine. Okay. Third apprentice.
Yeah.
And nobody expects us to finish it. Let me start over again. But anyway, like if Order 66 went off as it supposedly did, and like as Revenge of the Sith, I always have to think about the names. Episode 3 alluded to that, like Yoda, Obi-Wan, and like Bail Organa, who's not even really a Jedi, are like the only ones that like survive these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why did Vader need a whole army to go take out like a few outliers, or I don't know. It just feels like an idea where they're like, yeah, he had a Jedi hunting squad and they look cool, right? Because they have spinny lightsabers. And it's like, yeah, but why? Like,
I'm absolutely sure that somebody can point you towards a book and be like,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Those words exactly.
that was Huttese.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I like it. I think it's poorly written, but I still like it. And I can't really explain, aside from maybe it's just like my lifelong love of Star Wars and it being set in the right time period for that stuff. And it's just, I think it's fun seeing Darth Vader just fucking be evil and wreck people.
yeah.
Just doing evil shit and wrecking people. And there's something really...
That's why that scene from Rogue One was so
yeah, that's why everyone
good.
liked it. Yeah.
It's not like we were cheering the fucking bad guy, because obviously we're not, but it's fucking cool.
I think it's also just like, if you think about it, in large part, Darth Vader was mostly like, he got hyped manned. We didn't really see him
he didn't
do that much.
He doesn't do it.
He chokes a couple of admirals, which who gives a fuck or whatever,
Yeah.
And
He does do some throwing shit around with his fights with Luke.
sure, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, he's basically just fucking with a completely unskilled Jedi who he really should be able to just, murk immediately. I mean, given his supposed talents and all of this, it's just like, he's just half-assed and not wanting to really kill his son or whatever. It's just like you never really actually see him not doing what he's, supposed to do. And these other, these new instances, Rogue One and stuff.
Doesn't he choke a guy across the galaxy?
No, it's like one ship over.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he's like,
That's still pretty impressive.
yeah, because
I can't do that.
You're in charge now, Admiral Piet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like one ship over, but still.
That's pretty impressive still.
Yeah, I'm saying he choked out some admirals and captains and stuff and whatnot, but
from another ship.
sure.
Good. That's pretty
But
good.
I mean, he was just.
And I always wondered why
he was
Piet
choking-
wasn't like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
What do you
stay
say
right.
no to that guy that just choked out your buddy with zero effort?
How many guys has he like? How many people do they go through? Like the Empire has to be like, when you get promoted to this level, you are going to die. Like, there is some point.
That guy was Admiral Owet, and so he's Admiral Piet, and
Right.
Admiral Qet is next, and that's just how they do it.
You're just actively. That's why that's why the Death Star had a fatal flaw.
Yeah.
Not what Rogue One said happened, but like they're just like everybody was off that day because they're like it's promotion day. Nobody's showing up, so they don't get they don't get further up the chain to get choked out by fucking Vader.
Yeah. But I think that's part of what it is. It's just like, he's been hyped man through all the early stuff, and it's like now he's just choking old women on Tatooine for fun. It's just like, that's evil. Okay.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. And, Andor, despite being a whole universe I don't really give a fuck about, looks all right, I guess.
That's Cassian Andor from Rogue One.
Yeah.
We know what happens, right? At the end.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We know what happens to Obi-Wan, too, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I think this seems to be shaping up
to
be more of like the actual direct, like, let's actually organize and call ourselves the rebellion story. Because I feel like we've been dancing around, like, here's right before when the shit was going down to like, all right, they're established and they're a ragtag and they got, hot rods.
So we're just working our way in.
And I honestly think, like, it's Stellan Skarsgård, right? Isn't that who I saw in the trailer?
I don't know.
I actually haven't watched it.
Okay. I think Stellan Skarsgård in it, and I was thinking, like, he seems to be somebody of importance. Like, why don't you do something? You have money.
He's probably just playing Stellan Skarsgård.
I was in the Attack on the Death Star scene where the guy says Princess Leia's name wrong. He's like the only person in all of Star Wars that says Leia. But like that guy, I think might be who Stellan Skarsgård is supposed to be.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that's my guess because like I was watching that ILM series and they were showing that scene. I was like, I wonder if that's who he's gonna end up being, is whoever the fuck that guy is.
I guess I should go ahead and watch that trailer. Although, like right now, I'm exhausted by trailers because there are like 900 trailers for every piece of media.
Sure. It was a super quick one. I will say it was like here comes Andor. It's Star Wars.
Well, and that's another thing. It's like, all right, here's a teaser trailer, and we got a teaser and a teaser. So we get 9 teasers before the actual trailer, and then we get 9 more trailers after that, and then they release it, and they're like, hey, here's another trailer, a post-release trailer, so that you can see a trailer for a movie you've already seen. Anyway.
Yeah, there's just too much.
I mean, it's got him. It's got Stellan Skarsgård, and it looks like it has slightly younger, slightly less fucked up Forrest Whitaker from Rogue One.
Oh, I did see a bit of that. It's got Saw.
Yeah.
Saw Guerrero.
I mean, I know the name. I just was
right
for everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't know how nerdy everyone is. I should have known my company.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just saying he looks slightly less, version of that.
But like with properties that I like, I'm just in until they prove me otherwise. Like right now, I'm still in on Marvel until they prove me otherwise. They wouldn't have to show me a trailer for Wakanda Forever, and for Star Wars stuff, I'm still, the sequel trilogy got me back into Star Wars. So I'm in for any Star Wars shit that they do until they royally fuck it up again.
I concur.
Yeah.
No, they're
I feel like there's too much.
It's.
I feel like we didn't even talk about Moon Knight. There's that was stuck in there too, and it's like I'm hitting overload. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with it just because they are just generally coming out one at a time. I mean, there was a little bit of overlap with Obi-Wan and what was the last one? Was Moon Knight the last one?
Yes.
Yeah. Marvel thing? Or no.
Miss Marvel?
Maybe Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel started right as Obi-Wan was ending or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like
I think you're right.
Anyway, but I mean, for the most part, it's been like, all right, here's your reason to keep being on Disney Plus, new thing, But so I'm kind of okay with that as long as it's not like
I've got time for it, so I'm okay with it.
This fall, 3 things are coming out at once. That's what killed me with the Arrowverse. It was just like, now you have to watch 5 shows to enjoy this crossover, and it's like, no, or I could just not enjoy any of it.
Yeah, that was actually the point when I stopped my Buffy Angel rewatch way back when, because it was like once Angel launched, and it was like, okay, what order do I watch these in? And then I was like, wait, why do I care?
Yeah,
and then I just didn't watch any of them.
Yeah, I
from that point.
I would never try to do that. Like I know people have tried to do chronological MCU watchings or or something like that, like dumb things like that, or watch the Star Wars movies in timeline order, whatever. I think I have them on my Plex that name that way, where it's like I've got them so they show up so Rogue One's named like Star Wars 3.5 or something.
Or 3.99.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm gonna watch, what is it, Andor? I feel like I need to watch Rogue One again because I realized I have not seen it since the theater.
Or you could just realize he really doesn't do a whole lot, and it's very strange that he's getting his own show. He's just a soft-spoken dude. He's like, yes, you
And
should
that's
do
kind of the
something.
thing
Okay.
too. It was like, I mean, I've heard people say like they just wanted to do some kind of like Mission Impossible in Star Wars, and this is the character to do it. And it's like, okay, that makes sense, but
I think it was just they realized they got a good actor, gave him
Gave him nothing
part,
to do.
and then they were like, maybe we should use him more, like because he's actually pretty good when we actually give him lines and stuff. Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is true, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just one of those where it's like nobody cares about this character, so why are we doing this?
I mean,
That's my reaction. I mean, I haven't even freaking watched the trailer. It's
I mean,
probably only 2 minutes
other
long.
than the difficulty of getting Felicity Jones. I mean, I would think they would want to expand her character more, Jen's character more than his. You know, like do a, it's like
Yeah.
a younger version of,
Jen Urso.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get Felicity Jones to commit to a TV show, probably, but
Mhm.
I mean,
I don't. Yeah, I'm honestly not interested in
or
either of their stories.
No, I mean, really, yeah. I mean, make a Saul Guerrero show or Saul
Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Yeah.
I
Eddie
keep on-
Guerrero.
Yeah, I know.
Eddie Guerrero.
It's somewhere.
Vicky Guerrero.
It's somewhere all in between where I'm like Che Guevara, Saul Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just remember Eddie Guerrero when you want to say Saul Guerrero. Yeah, I'd be way more interested in that because he seemed like out of most of the other characters in that movie, he seemed, him and Donnie Yen and his buddy, husband, I don't know.
Marie.
What?
Marie.
Marie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Donnie and Marie Osmond. Anyway, those three are the ones that like seem to have backstories and personalities that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
So, show me more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me
Or just give us
me a
new
reason
shit.
to see more Donnie Yen.
Just make up a new character and put them in the Star Wars universe and go with that.
You mean like maybe a Mandalorian?
Yeah, like a Mandalorian guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then somehow that becomes
doesn't know
just
anybody?
another guy
Yeah.
that knows everybody else in the Star Wars universe.
Yep. Guy who doesn't know any other Star Wars people.
By the end of season 2, he's best friends with Luke.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And Boba Fett.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Bobby Fett. Yeah.
Yeah. More friends.
What a
with,
colossal mistake.
more friends with Ahsoka and Bobby Fett, but yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't really say anything to Luke. He was just like,
No, but I
your
mean,
CG's kind of fucked up. Here, take my kid. Get out of here. Get out of here. Sorry, spoilers of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
God, if you haven't seen season 2 of The Mandalorian, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
You died in early COVID, probably. Yeah, have we talked about all of it?
Probably.
Did we get there?
I'm sure I've
There's
watched
one
other
thing
things,
we can
but-
talk about, but I've talked about it enough on Discord, and we don't need to go into it.
I want you to mention it so that
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And I want to say I said it on a live stream, but I saw that at a drive-through,
Drive-in.
or drive-in. That
Drive-through movie.
I drove straight through the screen.
I'll have a number 1 with everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah. I
Nice.
and that is not it's like VHS. People may have good memories of it, but it is not a good way to watch a movie.
Was it
And
novel?
I guess.
Novel in any good way?
I guess. It was interesting, but then you got people fucking with their lights, and it's just like it's not great. And then the sound, like you trying to tune it in the car to sound right. If you're trying to sit outside the car, you're not hearing dialogue. It doesn't.
This doesn't work.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. But I mean, that movie works for damn sure. I mean, I really, really like that movie. There is a point it could have ended, and I would have been totally fine with it. But then it goes on for another half hour or
There
so.
are like 8 different points where that movie
Yeah.
could have ended, and I would have been happy about it.
Yeah, it kind of Return of the Kings, because I'm like, wait, would this movie still going?
Yeah.
Like, and I shouldn't feel that way about Michelle Yeoh doing kung fu shit, and yet I'm like, all right, guys, like,
Oh, well, I think I'm on a different path than you. Like, there were several ways that movie could have ended, and I would have been happy with it. Like several points and yet it still went on, and I'm still super happy with it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, at least I give that movie full credit for doing weird shit and using CG in the way that you'd want to use CG just to do weird shit.
yes,
And it's probably the least predictable movie I've watched since Detention, I would say.
Yeah.
Where I feel like it's just like I have no idea where any of this is going at this point.
that movie lets you think that you're going to know what's happening for about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And nope.
And it does not do anything predictable after that, for the most part. There's a couple things that are predictable.
Yeah.
A couple, like, just classic, this is how movies, make you emotional about relationships things. But, yeah. What a... That one phrase that keeps popping up in memes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I was saying it before it became a meme, so I'm like, I guess everyone else does like this too.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, and I never knew that. What is that actor's name? The one who played Short Round and
I cannot remember his name.
Yeah, I never remember his name. But apparently he was like the director of photography for a bunch of Wong Kar-wai movies.
A lot of them, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why there are sections in that are basically like, here's a Wong Kar-wai movie. And you're like, okay, I get it now. But yeah, he was either the DP or like he had something to do with the production of those movies.
Did he direct this? Is that what this is?
No, he is one of the main actors.
Oh,
in
okay.
The movie.
All right.
Jonathan K. Kwan or K. Hui Kwan.
Yeah. But apparently he was involved in a bunch in like
he's my ambassador.
I know for sure he worked on 2046. And I think he worked on In the Mood for Love as well. But yeah, because those sections are spot on. It's like, yep, this is a Wong Kar-wai movie. So,
non-germane, but you're talking about things that make you happy. I purchased Tom Popo recently.
yeah.
I usually get out on Discord when this happens, and I don't know why I didn't this week, but like iTunes had this like crazy sale on like Criterion and like real movies. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like,
man, I wish you told me.
Yeah, I mean it was like almost every a lot of Criterion movies were $5. Yeah, I think
it's probably good you didn't tell me. I don't need to be spending more money.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of like classic like silent. I mean everything from like silent era, like the fully restored like Nosferatu and Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, like all these things where it's like
oh man,
the fucking film school's on sale on iTunes. But yeah,
nice.
Anyway, but yes, Tom Popo is just one of those movies that if you've never seen it, that is joy wrapped up in celluloid. Just saying, it's one of those things that will make you happy, like Amelie.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I feel happier after having watched this movie.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah. I was only because you mentioned it, and I don't know where we are in talking about him, but I watched Bodied, that Joseph Kahn YouTube video.
Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah, originally it wasn't a YouTube Red thing or something like that.
Probably. It probably still is. I mean, we have premium, which is what that became. So, I mean, I don't know if like anybody can just watch it or maybe with ads. I don't know, but you can report back. It's a thing. It is a It is a movie.
I want to, but knowing following him on Twitter and then unfollowing him on Twitter eventually, he just gets very trolly with his politics, and I feel like Bodied is a movie that's just like, here's us being trolly with everything.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like on some level it is, and on the other level it's like, all right, maybe make a point, like maybe we give words too much power, like and that's just a fault of humans, I'm just saying there maybe is a point in there. It's definitely would come across as controversial at times, I would suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because knowing that it's about rap battles basically, and
yeah, I mean it's just like it's this white kid that wants to get into rap battles because he's into like I think he's like a poetry major or something like that, and he's just like he actually wants to do his thesis on the art of rap battling and and its role in like modern poems and poetry. That's the word I'm looking for. And anyway, but yeah, I mean it's just like he's got this you know, when I say like angry vegan girlfriend, you know, that's what she is. It's just like, you know, like one step away from being a militant lesbian, you know. Like, I'm just saying, it's like she's like every cliche. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, all right. I mean, at times she's right. At other times it's like, oh, fuck you. Like, you know, like it's just like, you know, that's the thing about the movie. It's like at every point, it's like, you know, you're kind of on the side of a character, and then you're like, yeah, but you're also a dick bag. You know, like I don't know who I'm even rooting for in this movie anymore. So anyway, it's a thing, and you know, you can watch it. But.
Does it have his unique touches?
I mean, it does so much in that I think he did do some like videos like this back in the day before movies of like you know recording underground hip hop and rap videos and stuff. So yeah, it's got some interesting touches. Maybe I mean it's nowhere like it's not like it's detention where it's like I'm suddenly going to go fucking wacky. It's clearly done on a budget, but I mean there's some funky camera moves like when someone gets in the zone or whatever and things like that. You know. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a thing. I'm sure it would piss a lot of people off. It didn't really offend me. I mean, it did make me go like, I'm going to think about this for a minute. All right, I'm done. You know, you know, I'm just like, it did make me like go, maybe we do go put a little bit too much power into what somebody says. It's like, you know, in the back of the day, it's like, it used to just be sticks and stones and words, you know, words can't hurt me kind of thing. You know, like I'm just saying, like we used to like think that way. And now it's just like, I cannot believe you said that word. I am so offended. It's like, okay, yeah, right. But just also maybe let it roll a little. Like, you know, sometimes anger is self-induced and as much as it is from the other side. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't necessarily help for us to just get so angry about every little thing that somebody says, especially slips of tongues and things like that. So.
Yeah. And I guess that one's just been on my list for ages and just kind of like Better Call Saul. It's like, I need to be in the right frame of mind to watch this or it's just not happening.
Yeah. So. I don't know. It's just that I'd almost always honestly kind of forgot. It was just one of those things like was, you know, exploring like, what have I been meaning to watch? And, you know, happened to be on YouTube and it was like, oh yeah, that. Good luck finding it though. It's like, it's weird. Like I want to say like you're almost better off like looking for Bodied and Eminem because he produced it or something. And so like, I feel like it's supposed to be semi-quasi autobiographical to Eminem sort of. Like in a weird loose way. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like it's supposed to be just something like here's some of my experiences.
Well, YouTube's their search sucks anyway. Yeah. Like I could type Andor trailer and I'll get like 50 sites before I get, you know, official Star Wars or Disney Plus official account posting it. It'll be like IGN first look Andor, and it's like
that's what they should be using DMCA shit for.
Yeah.
Is pulling down all of those because it's YouTube. It doesn't matter. Like, nobody else needs to put it on their channel.
Yeah, what I love is when you get, like, a fan-made trailer from, like, 3 years ago for something. Because I can't remember what there was, but I was like, why the fuck do we have footage of this? Like, it might have been when last year when I was looking for, like, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer or something. And, like, people had made all these fake trailers. And I'm like, the fuck is this?
Oh. Yeah. How did I forget? Like, big thing, just watched. Prey. Prey came out.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to talk about Prey, but in a completely non-spoiler way. Mostly just to say, go watch Prey if you can.
Yeah.
And if you don't know...
Do I have to watch anything else?
Have you seen Predator?
Yes.
Okay, then you are fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Predator 2? With Danny Glover?
Probably.
Then you will get a little bit more out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fucking spoiler. I got to watch Predator 2.
Yeah. It's just a nice.
I'm just
Maggie knows exactly what I mean.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
But it's just on Hulu, right?
It's on Hulu. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that it requires.
Oh, it's just there.
Premium or I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming you get commercials.
I've seen commercials that just say, "Hey, watch it on Hulu."
Okay. Well, I'm saying maybe you get commercials if you don't have the premium thing, but whatever, it's there, and you should watch it. And it's directed by my quasi friend Dan Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
Who made 10 Cloverfield Lane, which you should also watch if you haven't seen.
Yeah.
What do you mean quasi-friend?
I mean, in that I've conversed with him a few times over my life.
Oh, okay.
Not in a while, but...
Yeah, back in the day.
Like my quasi-friend, Leah Thompson.
Sure.
We had tacos.
A little different.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, everyone kind of thinks it's the best Predator movie since the first one, which... that's not saying much, however...
However, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I need to get my speakers hooked back up, and I need to watch it.
It's good. I liked it a lot. But yes, I that's all. I just wanted to get it out there because it just sort of, it's Hulu. A, it's Hulu, and B, it doesn't have a like, hey, this is a Predator movie title. I mean,
Yeah,
unless you
just
look at it,
uses the
it's
font.
like it's the font. But
Yep.
just reminding people because like I honestly didn't even know. Luckily, I didn't know it existed until like a month or two ago. I was just like, I think YouTube or something like
I had
Predator
known it,
prequel thing, Prey coming out.
yeah,
like,
I had known
yes.
it was coming, but yeah.
And
it's
then,
it's a prequel.
yeah, it's
And apparently there's a cut with entirely Comanche dialogue, and it's all subtitled.
interesting. Yeah,
which is how they originally wanted to do it.
yeah,
but
it's set in like like pre.
Yeah, like 17 something.
It's like 1730. It's like
Is it dubbed or?
it's
no,
in English.
They do this interesting thing where they kind of do the Dances with Wolves thing where
They just at some point transition
but
into
pretty quickly. I mean, it's just like they're talking and it's like you get the gist of what they're saying just because like they're pointing at animals they're on a hunt and then it's just like it just switches into English and it's like now you're hearing them. I mean, there's still some parts where it's I question whether there should have been subtitles because like they encounter like French fur trappers and stuff and there's no subtitles for the French and other parts where they speak Comanche and don't have it subtitled. So but I think it's just all how it's
those
supposed to be.
Acadian French are impossible to understand anyway. Yeah. Nobody knows what they actually said, even in the script.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's out there and you should watch it. So.
I'm going to watch it.
Maybe I will watch Predator the Deuce, and then Prey very soon.
That would be fine. Just, I mean,
I haven't seen Predator in a long fucking time, so.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Predator's so good.
It's so yeah, there's no problems
so
there.
good.
I'm just like I like ish too. That's the way I would say it. Like, there are things I really like about 2, and there's other things that are really bad about 2.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't remember the last time I watched that. Probably
2's a weird
many-
movie, but
many
it's
years
also it's weird and it's bad and it's good all at the same time. It's like Alien 3 to me, where it's like I get why it's wrong and why it's broken and things, but also I still like it. It's still a David Fincher movie, like
Yeah. I feel like Predator 2 hits that nostalgia spot for me, because I was only like, I want to say 13 when it came out. So it was like, this movie's awesome, and then it's like, you can't not view it with those eyes, kind of.
Sure.
But I also like that it does something completely different. Where they're like, no, we're going to the city. And there's just some damn cool setups that happen in that movie. And I think it...
Train scene is still one of the funniest things. It is in that movie, right? Where
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I thought that's where that's from, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, anyway. But yeah, Prey's out there. You should watch it. Watch that. Watch the Batman.
Watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I need to watch that. That will be on my list.
watch Todd in the Shadows.
Yeah, find them on YouTube.
I'll go see some Thor 4 and watch everything. I did watch that Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you watched it.
I mean, I thought there was a chance for it to be good, better. I mean, it's not bad. I just thought it had a chance to be better than it was.
You
But-
thought it had a chance to be something that you would like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, people still were like, show up for Nicolas Cage, but stay for Pedro Pascal. And I was like, okay, I'm on board with that. I like him.
That seems to be how it goes with him.
Yeah.
He
But-
shows up and, like, the thing gets better when he's on
Yeah,
screen.
and he absolutely doesn't make it. He does make it better, but then there's a lot of parts that he's not in, and I don't know. It's fine. Like I said, it is in quality wise what being John Malkovich is to Nicolas Cage. Being John Malkovich to Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is in the same quality level in terms of like the actor. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, just saying, like, that is a movie. It is like trying to do something. It is a little weird, but weird in like everyone kind of still respects it way, even like the New Yorker magazine people, And then the other one's like it's a little weird and it can be easily dismissed as, well, that guy's a fucking alcoholic gambling weirdo. So and a lot of people would just easily dismiss it and as that's silly. That has Tiffany Haddish in it. How can we take it serious? I mean, I'm sorry. It's no faults, but sorry. But when she shows up, your movie kind of immediately goes from potentially real movie to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Sorry, I had to remind myself who she was, and I'm still not sure. I guess she's a comedian.
Yeah. She's one of those like people who I felt like became super famous really quick, which is probably why she's in the Nicolas Cage movie. And where it was just like all of a sudden it was like her name was everywhere, and
I don't recognize her face at all.
yeah, she does a lot of like
Yeah.
I'm producing other like up and coming stars. She does a lot of those like.
Well, she showed up in Girls Trip and then kind of blew up from there.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is Girls Trip?
Probably a comedy movie for ladies, like Bridesmaids.
Yes.
Or Bad Moms.
One of those type things.
Wait, did
It's okay. They don't
did
make
they
everything
remake Bad
for us.
Trip in our favorite Coolio movie in 2021?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Anyway,
I would liken it more to The Hangover than anything else, I'd say.
I'm just saying she is one of those people, sort of like, unfortunately, like Melissa McCarthy. Also, it's just like, if you show up in the movie, I'm going to have a hard time viewing this as a legitimate film and not some kind of parody.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, which the Nicolas Cage thing clearly was. I'm just saying it then like becomes slightly more Black Dynamite and less something more clever like Airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So should we wrap it up?
Sure.
It's been a variety, like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Time.
Talk some video games.
Well,
talk some TV shows.
We talked
talk
about a
some
variety of
movies.
things.
Yes, for the variety hour.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoy us talking about things that are other than just our normal sort of movie kind of thing, you can catch us talking about even more movies over at patreon.com/BMFcast. We have several shows that don't talk specifically about bad movies. Sometimes we talk about good movies. Sometimes we talk about television shows. It's great. You can get a bunch of content for super cheap. It's a sort of monthly subscription thing. Like $1 gets you in the door. It's pretty good.
Yep.
I'd pay for it if I was a fan of this podcast, but since I am not, I don't. It's because I'm on the podcast.
Yeah, you're not just a fan; you're also a member.
I can't be a fan if I'm a member. I think is the way it goes. Like if I was on a football team, I couldn't be like a fan of that football team while I was on the football team. If you guys fired me, then I could be a fan. But
interesting.
Obviously, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Cause
Are you asking us to fire you? I'm
No.
confused now.
No.
Okay. You seem wistful about not being a fan.
No. No. It's just that I can't. I would,
okay.
but I can't.
Gotcha.
I can't.
Okay.
It's not possible.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you know what Kevin Garnett says? Anything is possible.
Kevin Garnett's fucking wrong. I don't know how to
Yes,
tell you this.
He did misquote Adidas' slogan.
Kevin Garnett said, "Why would you show it to me if I can't fucking have it?"
Did he say that?
In Uncut Gems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Yay, I got that one.
Nice.
Forgot about that. Wait, so Kevin Garnett's thing was a misquote of an Adidas slogan?
Yeah, Adidas' slogan is anything is possible, I believe. But yeah, it was like he was.
What did Kevin Garnett say?
Everything is possible. Yeah. Or no, yeah, I don't. What is it? It's, no, that's what
I think
he
he said anything is possible,
and
it's everything is possible.
possible. Yeah. I don't know, whatever it is. It's just like I think that's why it became a semi-meme before memes were a meme. Why it made it into on a boat and other things.
Oh, it's impossible is nothing.
Yeah, there you
is
go.
the fucking Adidas. Okay, well that's on Adidas. I'm not mad at Kevin Garnett for that. And they shouldn't be either. They should be mad at themselves for impossible is nothing. Fuck off, Adidas. Anyway.
Adidas.
Yes.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
I also just learned why the company is named Adidas. It's a portmanteau of part of the guy's first and last name.
Oh.
I think it was Adolf or Adolphus.
Hitler.
No, He was called Adi. And then it was like
Probably a good choice on his part.
Dostoevsky or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm glad they put those lines in that configuration.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Nike's the Greek god of victory, so just
Right.
in case you were wondering.
Anyway.
All right. There's your shoe history.
Yeah.
We'll be back next time. We'll be back next time to converse with you again.
Shistery, if you will. Anyway, patreon.com/BMFcast. That's where you can get some bonus content that is or is not like this. Also, the website is BMFcast.com. That's where you can get all of this content. If you are finding us somewhere else, you can go back through all of our archives and stuff and look at all the fun things we've posted there. And if you want to get in touch with us, email us bmf@bmfcast.com or give us a call on the Garfield phone, 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. You can actually telephone us, and by us I mean our voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
And Garfield, not the actual Garfield, but
Andrew Garfield is actually going to answer the phone.
that's incorrect. It's just, I think it's one of us saying leave us a message.
Could be Andrew Garfield.
It's him.
It's him.
Could be Andrew Garfield.
It's
I could
Harlow.
be Andrew Garfield. You don't know that.
I will sign an affidavit right now saying that you are not Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
I am Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and Variety Hour away! Or whatever.
I hate it so much, but I love it.
Variety
Variety Hour away!
Oh man, I just realized no Chuck here. Our whole upper left is vacant, and except that actually works. Now I just look like I have an extra long arm.
Yeah, you got a glowing arm. Check out that arm.
Look at that now, I'm like a basketball player.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
It's kind of creepy. Yeah, I like that this box isn't too big.
Good night, Big Bob.
Farewell.
That's all right,
Enjoy.
box.
All right, I'm going to take us off the line.
Yeah, take us off the
I
line.
can discuss our skit.
Yeah, let's talk about a bit.
Let's
A skit bit.
Skippity bit.
skip it.